Paulding's very own Sky Dog.
All righty, 278 The Mix. We are broadcasting live East Paulding High School for a very crucial Friday Night Lights football game. East Paulding Raiders and the Rome Wolves play tonight as we watch the East Paulding Raider Junior ROTC leave the field. And with us tonight, Mickey Skelton doing stats. We have Matt Shutley helping out. And Coach Don coming in tonight to help us out with some color commentary to tell us everything that we need to know about football. And he's going to be well equipped to tell us that. We got a big game. My understanding is, we'll get into it in a couple minutes, that these teams have faced each other 10 times. And, Coach, it's going to be a nice game tonight.
Well, it is. It's a big game because it's your next one. That's always the biggest game on your schedule. But you're sitting here with a 5-1 and 6-0, and if East Paulding is able to take care of the Wolves tonight, then they put themselves in a pretty good position to be sitting at 9-0 when they play Allatoona, which for all purposes probably be for the region championship the way it looks right now.
That's going to be a good contest, too. Allatoona's looking pretty good. I know that North Paulding High School is off tonight, and the coaches are watching that game closely at Allatoona.
They're at Allatoona tonight. I talked to one of them today, and he said, please send me updates. And so he said he'll be sending us updates as well.
That's great. We have another big county game going on tonight, South Paulding High School at Hiram. The Hiram Hornets and the South Paulding Spartans play tonight. That game's going to get a little attention tonight also. But speaking of attention, we got everybody here. Fox 5's in our face. We have Rome Radio, who always follows the Rome High School football team. And a big crowd coming on hand for the East Paulding Raiders tonight, Coach.
Well, it's what you expect this time of year. You've got two teams that at the beginning of the year expected to be sitting in the positions they're sitting in. Rome, you never really know what you're going to get from them. Always very athletic. I've coached against them in the past, and a lot of times just very athletic but very simple in what they do. But they are explosive. They have a couple of backs that are extremely dangerous. Number 23, Myron Washington. Number 24, Frank Griffin. Washington went for over 150 against North Paulding last week. And Griffin's very explosive back as well. So you're definitely sitting there with the potential to take it all the way. You've got a lot of speed. You've got some skill that is pretty fast. Fly around on defense. Defensively is going to be a key for me tonight because they gave up 56 last week to North Paulding. I think they're very weak against the run. I know they've struggled in some games this year in terms of points that they've given up. So I think East Paulding got a little bit of a wake-up call last week. Hiram hit them in the mouth and put up 30 points on them. Sometimes you got to get tested to wake up a little bit, and I'm really interested in seeing how East Paulding responds tonight defensively.
I know I talked to a couple of their players, and they were very not angry with the defense, but they said if we don't get our defense back in the game like we normally play, this Rome game was going to be a little bit tougher than what they anticipated. They're not used to giving up the 36 points on defense to any team, much less another team in Paulding County. But they did, and they're not happy, and I would assume, Coach, that they did all the adjustments to try to make sure that don't happen this week because, like you mentioned, Rome can put up some scores too. They beat North Paulding last week in overtime by 1 point, and that's the only other team besides East Paulding to beat North Paulding this year.
Yeah, and Rome's put up a lot of points. They put up 49 against Paulding County. They put up 69 against New Manchester, 34 against South Paulding. I think the thing, though, with East Paulding is they came off the bye week. Maybe they're a little lethargic. Maybe they're reading their own press clippings a little bit because they'd only given up 17 points all year. And, kind of like watching the Falcons last week. Sometimes you struggle, sometimes you play ugly, and sometimes you still are able to win those games. And you learn a lot you learn a whole lot more when you're challenged than when you beat people 49-0.
Yep, and we're going to have an exciting game tonight. I know number 23, you know more about him than I do for the Rome Wolves. He's a game-time announcement whether he's going to start tonight. He had a big game last week. Yeah,
Myron Washington's a junior wingback and very explosive, 157 yards last week against North. But, you're going to see a Rome team that they're going to play out of the wing tee. You're going to see some jet sweeps and buck sweep. A little bit of counter, a little bit of trap, a little bit of belly. Passing-wise, they're not going to be a great offensive threat passing or throwing the ball. They're going to run the waggle. It's about all they're going to run, really. And the quarterback's very athletic, though. Bo Tucker, what you're going to see with him is him getting out on the perimeter and having some pass run options. So it comes down to an East Paulding defense that is got to find their mojo, so to speak, again. They got to find their rhythm. And hopefully they'll do that tonight.
Well, both teams seem to be proud of their quarterback. You mentioned Bo, number 8. As we look at our video across the way, they made a big banner that says, "It's Bo time, number 8." Well, I think East Paulding thinks it's Mitchell time.
Well, so and it's going to be an interesting matchup because you've got a quarterback that's a great baseball player for Rome. You got a quarterback that's a great baseball player for East Paulding. We'll see who manages the game the best and who's able to lead their team to victory.
I'm looking for a big game tonight from number 28 for East Paulding, Kamani Thomas. He's a senior running back. He's been dominating this sport in Paulding County for at least the last 4 years. And he needs to have a big game tonight, Coach.
Well, you've got really a two-headed monster, or maybe it's even a three-headed. But you've got Kamani, who gets more of the press clippings, and he's over 1,000 yards this year with 1,034. Had 224 last week against Hiram. But, Kyler Neal's another one, too. You better not go to sleep on Kyler because he's going to hit a trap or he's going to hit belly and he's gone. And, Kyler had a big game last week as well, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. And to me, Kyler's just getting healthy. He had an injury in spring practice. He had elbow surgery. He didn't get to lift or do anything during the summer. And I figured it would take him about half the season to really get, hit his stride. Hard-nosed football player, very physical, and if you go to sleep on them, you've got Tay Ray and you got Mitchell who can get out on the perimeter, can hurt you with his arm, hurt you with his leg. So you better be aware of Marcus Gilbert, number 2, as well. So a lot of speed, a lot of talent. If it gets into a shootout and a scoring match, I think East Paulding will outscore them. But like I said, I think it comes down to defensively tonight and how the Raider defense responds, and their pride's probably hurt a little bit.
They don't like not putting on a good show when they play another Paulding County team. They were, speaking of the futures in my mind, they were a little devastated this year when North Paulding football, 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade beat the East Paulding Middle School program. They did not expect that to happen.
Well, no, and East Paulding's dominated this county for the last, 5 or 6 years. But, when you're on top, there's only one way that you can go. And sometimes people are going to beat you, and probably it's a wake-up call for some of those younger classes and some of those younger grades. When you're establishing tradition, sometimes you believe you can throw that jersey on the field and people are going to bow down to it, and that's not the case. They're going to come hit you in the mouth, and if you beat them, you earn it. And I think all it does is set up for a great rivalry for the next few years.
Well, I believe you're right. And earlier this year when we did our Paulding preview that we did for the coaches show, speaking of what you just said, Coach Jones, the new coach at North Paulding High School, came in and said, I've got a young team, we're rebuilding, we're doing this, we're doing that. At no point in time did he make those kids feel like they are where they are right now. He let them earn every bit of it and knew, knowing him, he probably thought he had a pretty quality team this year, but he was going to let those kids, if they went down, they were going to go down for that. But the way they stood up and played football, that team is right now number 2 in the county, is I believe.
Well, and I think, too, the first game of the year when North or East opened at North, people are thinking, East is struggling, East is this. But you know what? I looked at it differently. I looked at it as North was improved.
Yeah.
And I think that it's shown that. If North Paulding's not a number 4 seed, I'm going to be really surprised. I think they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll finish the year Obviously, they still have Alatoona next week. That's a big game. I think they can beat Alatoona. I think they can definitely play with them. And if you think anything's given on a Friday night, then you're thinking that 15, 16, and 17-year-olds are going to do exactly what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to, and you're fooling yourself if that's what you think. There's upsets every week.
Well, we do have upsets every week. That's why they play the game. If they thought you were going to automatically win, they wouldn't even play the game. So upsets are fun. Sometimes they humble you. Sometimes they get you in a level of momentum that you never thought you'd be at. And North Paulding has really came on this year. They got a coach that absolutely loves his team. I've got to hang out with him and his team a little bit, and he thinks it's the best quality kids he's ever had. And he's coached at a few other arenas, a few other stadiums over there. And he really likes these guys, and they like him, so that means a lot. When you can play for somebody you like and you can play somebody you like, then the two come together, and they put on quite a show this year.
Well, Scott Jones has done a good job everywhere that he's been. North Paulding is a good situation. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of interest. And, I really think that it's a good mix between the two. It's an up-and-coming program. Anytime you start a new school, though, I really don't think you really know what you have until about that sixth season. You get that first group of seniors out, and this is the sixth season.
And that's what he said.
And I think they're going to have an idea. He's walked into a pretty good situation. It's a good support. There's some good talent there. He's got a good staff, so it's going to be fun to watch them.
Well, they came in and not last year. I think it was either last year or the year before last. They came in here, surprised the county. They were strong. That was their first senior team. Must have been 2 years ago. It was their first senior team, and those guys graduated, and it was like, now what?
Well, you replaced 20 of 22 starters. So essentially, you didn't have any type of varsity experience, and I promise you, it is a different animal on Fridays than it is on Thursday.
Yep, that's right. But he's done a great job on rebuilding this team. But the one thing that a lot of people need to remember is he's still got a pretty young team. And tonight's game, of course, is about East Paulding, but we're just kind of proud of North Paulding for what they've done this year, but he's still got a pretty young team and does some good things with them.
Well, he does, but if you look at all the programs in the county, you look at Paulding County, who's struggling on Friday nights on the field, but is building and was in a bad spot. And I think Coach Hamilton's done a good job over there. The feeder programs are playing well. His freshman team is playing well. His freshman team beat East. So they're doing some good things. And JV's been competitive, and I think for the first time I believe this summer will be the third summer in a row that they've had consistency with their weight program. And you don't win. You don't win on Friday. You win on on Saturday through Thursday.
Right.
And you get better in the summer. You don't get stronger in the season, but from that off season hits and January rolls around, that's when the work goes in.
Well, coming up in a little bit, Coach, when we have a little bit more time, we're about 5 minutes from kickoff. We have our captains making their way to the field. We're going to talk a little bit about South Paulding softball, maybe at halftime when we hook up with Mickey Skelton to cover these stats for us. We'll talk about South Paulding softball and what they've got coming up playing down in Columbus this year.
Well, we'll also talk a little bit about Hiram volleyball because their girls advanced too.
We got a lot going on in the county, and you two guys know more about it than anybody. So it's going to be a lot of conversation coming up at halftime. As our captains are making their way to the field, we have number 99 for East Paulding. That's going to be Esteban Ayala. Also, we have number 24. That's going to be Lorenz Suttles. And number 5 and number 76 for the East Paulding Raiders, Lorenzo Hammonds, and also big number 76. He's a senior, Sebastian Gray. Is that right?
Tenants Waters. That's what I've got. I've got 76. I've got 76 showing on mine, but I've grabbed the wrong roster, so that's probably why I'm screwing up. So that's the miracle of editing, I hope.
Yes, sir.
76.
Everything I say is edited. If I can get my other roster from Mickey, I'll be able to.
It's not started up on those.
Bo Tucker, number 8, the big quarterback we talked about earlier, will be the Rome Wolves captain tonight. Also, big number 85. That's going to be Darian Parks, 55. Is that right, Mickey?
Yeah, 55 and 24.
Sarandon Marshall. And number 24, Frank Griffin, will be your captains tonight for the Rome Wolves as the captains make their way out to center field for the coin toss. And we're getting ready. I'm getting fired up on this game already. It's homecoming tonight at East Paulding, so we're going to have a little more time at halftime for Mickey to sit down and and talk about everything that's on his chest tonight.
Well, I do want to mention, too, that the Wolves are led by Franco Perkins, and Coach Perkins in his third year at Rome doing a good job. He's 18-10 overall at Rome. And, at some point during the broadcast, we'll talk a little bit about the history of Rome football, because Rome football has a proud tradition. It used to be East and West Rome, and between them have 7 state championships. And when the schools combined, everybody really thought that Rome would be a powerhouse. And they've had some good years, but never got past the quarterfinals. And the 12-win season is the best they've had. And a little bit surprised that they have never put it together. But you're going to see a talented team, an explosive team tonight. It's going to be a good challenge.
Well, it's going to be a big game. We got Fox 5 here. They're going to be in our face all night. Fox 5, you can watch the highlights of this game tonight. I believe it comes on at 10:30 on
10:30.
Fox 5. And also tomorrow will be some kind of a replay. A lot of people on hand. Rome don't have a huge crowd, but the East Paulding side's got enough people to make up for that. This is one of 2 games in the county tonight, as it looks like East Paulding may have won the toss and choose to receive the football.
I think Rome won it and deferred.
Okay. All right.
The East will get the ball to start the game.
We'll edit that one out, too.
Well, that's a good thing if we can edit them out. But I tell you one thing that you'll notice, and I don't want to sound negative. Rome doesn't travel very well.
Right.
They don't bring a big crowd, and I don't understand that either, because they've had good teams. They haven't had great teams. They've had good teams, and really would love to see them get behind their kids a little bit more and support them a little bit better.
Well, we're going to have a run through in a minute. Rome's going to come out first. Their banner just says Rome Wolves, and here comes the Rome Wolves now through their banner. And when they get done, we may hear the cannon go off, which we hope will go off a lot of times tonight. But the cannon will be going off as the East Paulding Raiders. It says, Happy Raider Games. May the odds be ever in your favor. And here comes the East Paulding Raiders. There's the cannon. I don't know about you, Coach, but I know the cannon's coming, and I still jump.
Yeah, normally when I'm at an East Paulding game, I'm down in that back end zone, and you know it's coming, and you still get a little startled from time to time.
You get in there, and you're like, yes, another touchdown, and you relax for about a half a second, then boom, and it's like, oh, Lordy.
And it's one of those things, if you're an East Paulding fan, you want to hear it go off a lot.
Well, we're ready for some football Friday night under the lights. East Paulding High School, 278 The Mix. I want to go ahead and give you a heads up. If for some reason we lose the internet connection, we're still on a 3G network out here in Paulding County. If we lose the connection, we are recording everything. We'll try to connect back up. If we can't connect back up, you can watch the game on Paulding.tv later on. We'll have the video up in a little bit, Paulding.tv. The audio will stay on 278 The Mix, where you are now.com. If we do lose the audio, you can watch the game back with audio in its entirety tonight on Paulding.tv. We'd like to thank Mickey Skelton for being here with us, Coach Don. We got Matt Shutley here with us, and we are ready for a little bit of football. We got back deep for the East Paulding Raiders, number 2, Marcus Gilbert. Also, number 22 for the Raiders is going to be Tay Ray.
Got a little bit of speed back there.
We'll watch Tay Ray, Coach, because he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, but you got a lot of speed. Marcus took one back last week. 98 yards, I believe, for a touchdown against Hiram.
Kicking off is number 39 for the Wolves, and here goes the kick.
Yeah, a little pooch kick. They better come up and field it, though.
Number 1's going to get the kickoff, and he's going to get about 3 yards on that return, and that's going to be Jalil Hines. He's a senior, and East Paulding is going to start the game on the 20 or make it the 30, about the 29-yard line for the Raiders.
You'd probably be a little happier if he'd fair catch that right there on a pooch kick. That's what it's designed to do, is to prevent a return. And as a coach, I would imagine you don't want them returning that unless you've set up a return for that, and it didn't look like it to me.
I don't think so. Mitchell Webb, your quarterback, number 15 under center. Behind him, we have Kyler Neal and Kamani Thomas. Kyler, number 30, Kamani, 28. During the I formation, here's a snap, a fake pitch out to Kamani.
That's a trap with Kyler. And a quick hitter right there. You can see Rome basing out of a 3-5. They're going to walk those outside backers up and give you a 50 look from time to time. But basically, it's a 3-5, cover 3 behind it. And good little maybe a 6-yard pickup there on the trap. And you'll see Kyler. Eventually, he's going to break one of those.
Kyler's he'll break a couple hopefully tonight. East Paulding second down and a long 4 for the Raiders. Mitchell Webb under center, I formation in the back. Kyler Neal, Kamani Thomas. Going to be Thomas.
Yeah, you got a flag. It's going to come back. Probably going to be a hold against the Raiders.
It will come back. It's going to be against the Raiders. It was a nice run by Kamani Thomas. It's going to be about a 15-yard run, but it's coming back. Holding on the Raiders.
Well, negates a good pickup and a first down, but still gives them second down and see what they have. It is a spot foul, so it's going to end up probably being about second and 12 or 13.
Yeah, that's correct, Coach. Nice run by Thomas. You know, sometimes the first carry of the game lets you see exactly what the defense is made of, and he probably saw a few things there to be like, this might be okay tonight. So,
well, you've had 2 runs and you've picked up positive yardage both times. Like I said, Rome's given up a lot of points this year. They've given up a lot of running yardage.
We got twins out to the right, one out to the left, one man in the backfield.
Draw.
Mitchell Webb hands off to Kamani Thomas, and he's got room. Kamani's got it almost to midfield, about the 43-yard line, Coach.
Yeah, a draw, and had a big seam right there. Just glad that number 2 right there, Marcus Gilbert, was not in position to block the corner and laid off. Didn't get a block in the back, so sometimes the best blocks are ones that you don't make.
That's going to be enough for an East Paulding first down. The ball is going to be on the 44-yard line, maybe 43 and a half, as Mitchell Webb looks on to get his signs from the coach. Coach Goddard, first year at East Paulding. Got a great, talented squad to work with, and with his knowledge and understanding of football, he's got potential to do a lot with this program. We got splits out on both sides. Mitchell Webb under center I formation. It's going to be a fake.
Now you got a fake.
Play action. It's going to be wide open
for him.
Oh!
Wow.
Number 2, Gilbert, almost had a 6.
Yeah, but 13 closed right there, and I think he got a hand on it. And Mitchell put some air into that ball, maybe a little bit too much right there, but they'll come back to it because it was there.
That was a nice defensive play by number 2 for the Wolves. And it's going to be second down and 10 now for East Paulding on the 44.5-yard line.
You know, if you're going to take a shot downfield, do it on first down. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
So far, you've ran the ball 3 times, and they haven't shown that they can stop you running it. So, take a gamble.
We got the broken eye.
You got offset right there by Kyler. Draw again. Picked up about 4.
Another nice positive run for the Raiders. Got about 4 yards on that one. It's going to be third down and 6.
Yeah, it just looks to me like the Raiders feel like the coaching staff feels like that we can run the ball. You know, they're picking up positive yardage. I don't think they're concerned about their ability to be able to run the ball on them.
Yeah, I think they're pretty they know they can throw it. All they got to do is break loose. They have a quarterback that can get it downfield. They got receivers that can get open, so the run doesn't hurt here.
No, and you got Swaggle, flooding the zone, hit the tight end. Great job by Aaron Black right there. And he broke loose down the sideline, about the 20-yard line. Had a waggle to the far side, and you got Aaron Black. Basically, you've got a high, medium, and a low choice right there. You flooded the zone, and a nice catch by Aaron and broke a couple of tackles and a big gain.
Aaron's a big target, too. Aaron's probably about 6'4", big, heavy guy, and it's all muscle. When those guys try to tackle him, Coach, they're going to need to wrap him up a little bit. First down and 10.
You better not try to tackle him high.
That's exactly right, because he's a little taller than most kids out there. First and 10 on the 33-yard line, or make it the 28-yard line.
Trap. He may be gone. Love the trap because it's such a quick hitter, and when you've got somebody like Kyler that not only hits the hole quickly but also can take it to the distance, what you do now is you've made your defense respect. We've hit you outside C gap, we've hit you in the trap inside, we've hit a ball deep, we've hit a tight end crossing. You've got to defend the whole field.
And it's going to be another first down for East Paulding. It's going to be first and 10, and the ball is going to be on the 11, 12-yard line. First and 10 for the Raiders. Mitchell Webb under center. I formation. And the back man, Kamani Thomas, is going to take that, and he's going to be hitting the backfield and fight for about a couple yards, Coach.
Yeah, still bouncing like a little ISO right there. I think Kamani saw something, or thought he saw something to the left, but closed pretty quickly. Probably the smallest amount of yardage that East Paulding's picked up on a play tonight, and he still picked up 3.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Kamani. You don't want to give him too much room to breathe because he hits those holes quick, and he likes to get a lot of yardage.
Well, Kamani's built low to the ground. He's very powerful, has good vision, good foot speed, and it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up, too, after this year and where he plays his college ball.
One man in the backfield, Kamani Thomas, Mitchell Webb under center. He's going back, and there's going to be
we got
movement on the front line, it looks like, as they had.
It's going to be on us.
They had one man open and one man about to run to be open. So
well, the dangerous thing right there is who comes up and makes him throw the ball because really they were outnumbered right there on the boot, but you got a quarterback that can run the ball.
And do a good job at that. It's going to back it up 5 yards. It's going to be second down and 13 for the East Paulding Raiders. Ball's on about the 19-yard line. I'll tell you, let's see.
About
14.
Those angles make it hard sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
Those eyes get older.
Well, you know, I got my bifocals on.
Well, as we're all sitting here with glasses as well.
Except for Matt, man. He's still young back here.
A little toss sweep. He's got an angle. Got a shot at it. He's touched. There we go.
Here goes the cannon.
What you saw right there was good blocking, good vision, and you saw a back that was able to weave his way through a little bit of traffic, but virtually untouched right there on that 14-yard touchdown run.
A little over 3 minutes East Paulding kept that ball, so they scored on the first drive as Miles Hemphill comes in now to try for the extra point. Miles is going to go somewhere too.
Yeah, Miles is such a weapon. Miles was late to the game. He's a soccer player, didn't start playing until last year. A talented soccer player, but extremely strong leg, and you're going to get to see it in just a minute when he kicks off. Anytime you can force the team 90% of the time to start on the 20-yard line, the odds in your favor because going 80 yards is hard to do.
Miles is a great kid. Last year the coach said, hey, why don't you come kick a football? Never kicked a football before and said, sure, why not? Took him about a game and a half, maybe 2 games to really understand what he was doing. After that, he's been nothing but hitting these field goals. At practice, you know, there's nobody rushing you and nobody trying to stop you, but he gets a 65-yarder up there every now and then.
Yeah, real strong leg. And like I said, you can get a scholarship to kick in college if you can put it in the end zone and you don't do anything else but that. And but Miles brings more to it than that. He's a good athlete as well. And he will definitely have an opportunity to kick on Saturdays. Now, as I was talking pregame, how does the Raider defense respond? And obviously the offense is had some success right there. They've had success every game this year. They put up a lot of points. Defense got challenged last week. Let's see how they respond.
Yeah, back deep for a Rome, we have number 2. I make that number 4, Thaddeus Barrett. And I believe that's number 22 on the far side over there, Coach.
It's usually 24.
Right,
it's
Frank
usually
Griffin.
Frank Griffin, but I can't see the other number from here.
So they better back up a little bit because this is probably going in the end zone.
Well, there's a good chance of it.
Now, if any foot's in the end zone on high school football, there's no run out. It's automatically down on the 20.
Or the ball. If the ball crosses the plane, either.
All right.
That one's going to be in there.
Yep. By the way, back deep for Rome was number 24, Griffin.
Well, one of the most underappreciated stats in football are 3 and outs, and you have X number of possessions during the course of a game, and one of our goals was always 50% of possessions into 3 and out. If we can get you to punt half the time on 3 and outs, we feel like we've got a good chance to be successful.
Well, we're going to get our first look at the Rome offense tonight as they are headed up by number 8, and that's going to be Bo. As the banner says, it's Bo time, Bo Tucker.
Little belly, little flag.
It's at the line of scrimmage, and East Paulding stopped on that first run, and
it's going to be motion against Rome. You can see the signal. Little belly right there. Not a lot of operating room. Well, we're flag happy so far, and I hope that doesn't continue because that really takes away from the flow of a football game.
Yeah, it's nice to let them play, but you know you got to also keep them in line.
You got to call what you see. If it's obvious, and motion penalties and procedures are usually pretty obvious.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 still. It's going to back up now 1st and 15 for the Rome Wolves, and that's going to be 1st and 15 on the 15. So far, these fans like that first play for East Paulding, Coach. They cheered on the stop, even though there was a flag. They were pretty happy to see that they only got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the natives get restless when you have a bad performance, and they had one defensively last week, so definitely glad to see that. That was a Zion quarterback draw.
And it didn't fool too many people.
No, he didn't go back and set his feet. He wasn't looking to throw the ball right there. That was a design draw. He's a good athlete, but he didn't look like he really wanted to run right there.
Well, we had he did fool a few people here in the stands. They're all hollering pass, but like you say, I believe it was a designed quarterback draw play.
He didn't get back in the pocket and set his
now,
feet.
Is he a pretty good runner as well as a passer?
He's had some success running the ball this year. They haven't thrown the ball very well this year. Wing T teams really don't have a lot of options outside of Waggles to throw the ball, so generally you don't see Wing T teams throw the ball a lot. You look at Camden County, Bryce Ramsey's committed to the University of Georgia. They're a Wing T team as well. Now you've got a Division I quarterback that's an elite prospect. Yeah, you find more ways to throw the ball, but generally Wing T teams probably not going to throw the ball very, very often or very well.
Well, we're getting set. We got a big center, number 74, T.J. Williamson, as he comes up first to break the huddle from the.
I think we had another motion penalty there.
I guess we did because they took back a little bit. All right, here goes the.
He don't do that.
It's going to be intercepted and knocked down by number 45 for the Raiders coach, and that's going to be DJ James. He's a big senior. Almost came up with something he didn't expect to get.
Well, again, we just talked about throwing teams in the Wing T, and you saw right there on the waggle, he didn't get outside. He didn't get his feet set. He really didn't look very comfortable right there, and he didn't look very comfortable the last two plays to me. Could be because he's got people in his face hitting him. But we'll see if they try to do anything else. That right now they're kind of searching. They've tried to run a trap. They've tried to run belly. They've tried to run waggle, and so far they've gone backwards.
I think he got hit on the last one, too.
That's
that was
Sally.
An ugly little play there. Didn't get no yardage.
It's a Sally. It's a misdirection play in the Wing T. And you try to get flow one way. You pull a tackle to trap on the backside and try to sneak somebody through. And good defensive series right there. Like we said, 3 and out. If you can do that half the time, you're going to be successful.
All right, we're going to do a punt. Back deep for East Paulding to get the punt will be number 15, Mitchell Webb. Also number 2, Marcus Gilbert. Mitchell is kind of the sure hands guy. And if it goes to him, we most likely will see a fair catch. And here's the kick. And it's going to go to Gilbert. Gilbert starts on the 40.
They got it set up over here.
Gilbert started on the 40. He's still breaking tackles, going all the way. He's going. Marcus Gilbert.
No flags.
60-yard touchdown run for Marcus Gilbert, Coach.
And what you'll see right there, you know where they're going to set their wall up because you break teams down film-wise. And it was set up over here, but what Jerome didn't do a very good job of was getting somebody in all the lanes. They had a gap out here, had a seam, and a couple of blocks, and Mitchell Webb threw one about the 20, and he was gone.
Well, back down to kick the other extra point is Miles Hemphill. As we mentioned earlier, he's fun to watch, and we'll get to see another kickoff from him momentarily, and odds are it will also go in the end zone as this extra point attempt is good. So right now in the first quarter, your score, East Paulding Raiders 14, the Rome Wolves 0, on a pretty explosive offense for the Raiders and a very explosive special teams. And what a run, a 60 yards.
Well, and we just talked about on the kickoff a while ago too, Marcus took 198 last week on a kickoff return, so there's a couple of things to look at, and anytime you watch a football game, one of them I talked about 3 and outs. Do you limit their possessions? Another thing, do you score on defense or do you score on special teams? Because if you do those things, then the opponent's got to match you. And if they don't match you, you're probably going to win most of those games.
You got to match. Well, these fans are excited. You got to admit, last week when East Paulding played Hiram, and their defense didn't do exactly what they liked on that. They were a little bit nervous, and knowing that Rome played North Paulding an excellent ball game, they're like, this could be a pretty tough game for us. So East came out here with the intent to do something early in this game, and they've done that, Coach.
Well, they've started off the way they want to. The big thing is right now is you play 48 minutes, and you don't win a game in the first 6.5, but you can definitely lose it. And I think both of Rome's done what they could do to try to put themselves in a bad situation. Not that they do it on purpose, but they found themselves down real quick against a team that could probably outscore you anyway. But you don't want to get lackadaisical. I know Coach Goddard and him, I don't think you'll see the coaches relax. The players are not going to relax. This is a 4-quarter game. This is the time of year where you start getting ready and you start getting yourself in playoff mode.
That ball went about 9.5 yards deep in the end zone. So it's going to come out. We're going to be 1st and 10 now, Rome Wolves on the 20. The chain crew is already there waiting. They were on the 20 just waiting. Mickey, I think last time we did this, you lost a bet, didn't you?
tried to bet. I wouldn't bet.
Oh, okay. Just checking on you.
He tried. I wouldn't take it.
Betting's illegal in high school sports, remember? So.
We can't have you guys betting. Not for another few months anyway, Mickey. All right, it's going to be 1st and 10, Rome on the 20. Bo's under center. He's going to do.
I thought they moved there again.
It looked like it. Number 24's got the ball going around the far side.
Good run for
Not a bad run.
Rome. 24 yard. Number 24 picked up 4 right there. Frank Griffin maybe got 5. I thought you had motion right there. I thought you had a lineman move, but
it looked like it. I think maybe they got tired of calling it on them for a little movement up there, I guess. But 2nd down and a long 5 for the Rome Wolves. It's Bo time is what the banners say over there. Bo Tucker, number 8, your quarterback for the Rome Wolves, under center. Griffin's going on the far side again, and Griffin's got a little running room, and he's going to be
down.
Got the Rome first down, and he's got about maybe 10 yards on that carry, so it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Rome Wolves, and this time it's going to be on the 33-yard line. Yeah, right on the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for Rome.
Well, and, Rome runs the same offense that Hiram does, wing T, and they saw on film what Hiram was successful with, so they're going to try to hit it. They're going to get some buck sweeps, and they have some explosive backs. They play varsity high school football as well. They're going to have some success. Trying to get outside again. Nice shoestring tackle. Looks like 85 is Luke Rudd, I believe. Nice tackle right there because he had a little bit of grass in front of him if they didn't make that tackle.
Luke is also one of the East Paulding seniors. Been on the team for a while. He's a nice little defensive football player, coach. It's going to be 2nd down. 2nd down and a 6 for the Rome Wolves. The ball's just over the 35, almost the 36-yard line. The offense plays close together. They don't spread them out too much.
No, not in the wing T. Little trap right there.
Number 7 is going to be your ball carrier for Rome.
Nice job filling it right there, and that's your fullback.
Leaf Womack.
Leaf or Leif. It depends on whether you're in the 80s, 90s, or.
Or if he was a Leaf Garrett fan, I guess.
I never knew how to pronounce his name.
we can spell it for you. L-E-I-F. What do you think, Mickey? Who is that? L-E-I-F.
Exactly.
3rd down and a long 3. Give them 4 for the Rome Wolves.
He's short.
Yeah, he fought a little bit more there, Coach. He might have got closer to it.
He's a yard and a half short. See where the near guy's marking him.
Yep, he's going to be short about a yard. It's going to be Griffin. It's going to be 4th down and a yard now for the Rome Wolves.
Well, here's the situation. What do you go for it? You're already down 14. It's a yard. If you can't go get a yard, then you're probably going to struggle to win that ball game anyway. They may go up and try to freeze them, see if they can get a cheap one, call a timeout.
Well, Bo's in there, your quarterback, so they're going to try something here.
I'd probably bring my linebackers up a little bit, and here they come. Quarterback sneak. He doesn't have a chance.
He's not going anywhere.
No, he lost a yard. I'm going to go ahead and question the call just a little bit. It's easy for me to sit up here and second guess, but why don't you go up there and at least freeze them, get a little motion, get a back moving, try to get a cheap one, and then run your play. You've got 25 seconds.
Yeah, every snap's been a pretty quick snap up there. We had Luke on tackle again. We also had big number 55 for East Paulding Raiders on that tackle. Came up off the bottom limping a little bit. Dylan Coleman, who's a junior here for the Raiders. Nice stop for the Raiders, and it goes the other way, Coach. 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line, and Mitchell Webb's under center. Kamani Thomas all by himself in the backfield, split out to the side.
We had Kyler out here at tight end. There he is. And here he goes. He may be gone. Ooh! I didn't mean to scream in your ear, but good Lord. Trey Giles just decleated number 13 for Rome. Wow.
He heard the cannon twice.
That was a decleater.
I got that. That was a nice block. He don't know where that came from.
Right there. I mean, that kid just got lit up. I hope he's okay. We've got a trainer coming down to him. He did not have his head on a swivel. He never saw it coming. And that was quite a blow by Trey Giles. That was a slobber knocker.
That was an incredible offensive blocking play there. Incredible
Well,
block.
let's talk about the setup because, as you said, that was a one-back, but where was your fullback? He's lined up at tight end. I'm going to go ahead and bet you money. They didn't pick up on that because he was wide open in the flats. Nobody covered him.
That's one of those woo plays. I heard on NFL the other day, one of the guys said his biggest memory was when he did a woo play.
Yeah.
They said, what's a woo play? He said, that's when you do something and everybody in the stand goes, woo!
Well, I didn't mean to holler in your
Hey,
ear,
I did too.
But anytime you see something like that gets your attention.
That's
And,
number 13, by the way, guys, for the Rome Wolves.
Starting free safety right there as well, Devontae Mallett. Here again, let's go back. You go forward on 4th and 1 right there. Yeah, you're already down 14, but you're also on their side. You're also on about the 42-yard line,
Yep.
43-yard line. You don't use you don't try anything to draw them off. All you do is basically get up there and run a quarterback sneak, and you lost yardage. So, it's easy to second guess, but I just don't know that that's the way I would go about it if I'm going 4th down.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, you got 25 seconds. So a couple strong counts could get them right off sides, and then you got the first down. But
Well, run a back in motion, Do something to try to draw them.
we have offsides on the defense, of course.
They're going to decline it and kick it.
Yeah, Miles don't want to. He just wants to
There.
kick and be done with it. He's already set. He's ready to kick. He don't.
I saw Coach Goddard. He's waving as soon as they drop the flag.
So we appreciate you guys joining us on 278 The Mix. The game will be back on its video. You can see that hit for those of you at home later on tonight. No later than tomorrow morning, that game will be up, and you can check out that hit. That was an incredible hit. Coach set it up perfect, describing to you what happened. But when we go back and watch the video on later on tonight on demand, you guys watch for that hit. That was an incredible hit for the East Paulding Raiders.
Well, and give Kyler a little credit, too, right there. He set the block up. He was directing traffic.
Yeah.
And, nice job. I'm going to be honest with you. You may get tired of me talking about Kyler. I love the way the kid plays the football game. He's a good kid. He does good in the classroom. He's a good baseball player. And I'm a big fan.
I like Kyler Neal. I've watched him play a long time. Him and Mitchell's played together since they were 5 years old. Kyler Neal he's like an ox. He's probably one of the strongest guys on this team.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Super nice guy. He won all kind of awards for baseball season. Then he came back, and he's looking great after he broke his elbow, I believe it was. Recovered. His first game was at South Paulding 3 weeks ago, and he's just a football player.
Yeah, he's a good kid and a good player, and has got offers out there from Ohio and Air Force, among others, and I think he'll still end up with some more offers before the year's over.
All right, back deep for Rome, we have number 4 again, and that's going to be the same two guys in the back. We got number 4, Thaddeus Barrett, and Frank Griffin, number 24, as Miles Hemphill will be kicking off from the 40, and most likely the chain crew's already set on the 20.
Yeah, it's generally a pretty good assumption. That's where they're going to start, but you never know.
Well, this one goes out of almost to the goalpost.
Close.
So the chain crew's like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and camp out right here because this is where we're going to be.
I'm going to give you a South Paulding Hiram score 0-0 into the first quarter, and appreciate Mr. McAllister sending me that update.
Mr. McAllister, he's great, man. I love him. He's big supportive to what we do. Big supporter for us. Whenever we go over there, he's the first one carrying tables. Anything we need, he's on the spot for us.
Yeah, Chris is a really good guy.
1st and 10, Rome Wolves on the 20.
Buck sweep. Not a lot of running room. Find a little bit. Let's see. Here again, go back to where they went for it on 4th down. Send it back in motion. Stop him. Bring him back. Again, not to beat a dead horse. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, I understand. I watch a lot of rec football games, and they put their best people in the backfield, and they always do an onside kick. They put their best hands, the best runners in the back to receive the ball, and all these guys do onside kicks. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I have never yet to get anyone answer that question very nice for me. So maybe somebody's listening tomorrow that'll kick it through the goalpost. Okay, here we go. Rome, 2nd and 5. Number 8 quarterback still, Bo Tucker.
Buck. Got it from behind.
Brought down by number 5 for the East Paulding Raiders, and that's going to be Lorenzo Hammonds. And
Nice
he's
play.
a senior.
Good down the line pursuit. If you don't send the fullback away right there to pick up that backside end, as long as you get good force on the play side, you'll see that backside end make that tackle a lot. You'll see them make the tackle on the trap time to time.
Well, we appreciate you guys listening. You can watch the game later tonight, and then it'll be up for a while on Paulding.tv. So if you're listening right now, you can watch it later. Paulding.tv. We appreciate you guys hanging out there with us. Third down and a short 3 for the Rome
Secondary's
Wolves.
not adjusted the way the coaches wanted them to right there, and as you're seeing the result. You had your coaches down here for some reason. They didn't adjust to the set up top. And you had your defense coordinator and your secondary coach down there screaming at the secondary to adjust. So I think that's probably why Rome found a little bit of running room out there. They probably wanted to roll that corner up a little bit or bump that backer out.
DJ James put the final touches on that tackle for East Paulding Raiders as they did get outside, and it's going to be 1st and 10 now on the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for Rome. They've only had a couple of first downs in this game, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's the second.
This is the second.
All right, 1st and 10 Rome's. Bo, number 8, still your quarterback. Number 23 had a big game last week, questionable for tonight. He's not in there as of yet. Maybe a groin injury.
It's a little jet sweep. I got a little bit. Jet sweep, and jet sweep's a little bit of a quicker hitter, and maybe they're thinking that they're having a little bit of they're not getting their lineman out. They're having a hard time running buck sweep, so jet sweep's another alternative.
Romaine Gooden on that stop, number 48. These guys are tackling like you're supposed to tackle. They're wrapping up both legs and making sure they don't go anywhere. They're not doing shirt tackling and any of that. No. They're doing some real tackling. I guess these they've been doing some good scouting on this.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they probably had some tackling drills this week, and there were probably some one-on-one situations with the linemen. I think they were not happy with the physicality they displayed last week, if that's a word.
It is now.
I think it is. I saw it on ESPN, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I said they wouldn't throw the ball very well, but that was a nice pass and catch right there.
Yeah, that was number 1, and he's not on my starting offensive sheet.
It's like Jeremy Wells, a senior.
Nice catch. That would be the third down. Oh, we got a penalty. We have
Might got an
unsportsmanlike conduct.
And I believe it was against East.
That was against East Paulding. Of course, they're going to decline that, so it's right on the midfield. 1st and 10 now for Rome Wolves on the 50. 1st and 10. This will be the first time after this play maybe they've crossed midfield in the whole game in the first quarter here. All right, 1st and 10 Rome. We got wide out to the right. Linebackers are coming, Coach.
Now you got Sally. Little Sally, a little misdirection play, a wing T staple, and got, I guess, 3 yards.
Second down is long 7 for the Rome Wolves. Now explain to our listeners, when you say Sally, what exactly are they looking at?
You got a play that opens up one way, the quarterback pivots back, and the ball comes underneath with a trap on the backside.
Gotcha. Y'all got that? Test tomorrow at 11. You can text it back to Mickey Skelton. Make sure you got the right answer, and he will award you your prize. We got the Fox 5 hand out there today. It's going to be coming up somewhere around halftime, I believe, for the homecoming. They are here covering the Rome Wolves and the East Paulding Raiders for homecoming Fox 5 in your face sports.
Give you another score. You got Alatina Villarica 0-0 into the first quarter.
And we are just now going into our
start of the
second quarter.
And 21-0 East Paulding. Pretty good showing. I'd say they came out with a little bit of fire. And I really just don't see Rome slowing them down a whole lot.
Yeah, they got momentum going now, Coach. They're explosive offense anyway. After last week, they may have had little jitters on defense coming in, kind of not 100% sure of what might happen with the defense tonight. But they've turned that around, and now they know exactly what's going on, and they'll probably take control of this game real quick.
Well, they've got a few things they've got to clean up defensively. Rome's had a little bit of success. They've had a few first downs now, threw for one, ran for a couple. There are some seams there. Rome's not at full strength. They do have one of their best backs, Myron Washington, out. Had a huge game last week. And to be honest with you, when you're down 21, I don't think he will step on the field now.
Yeah, I don't think they.
I think Rome pretty much understands. At this point, they're probably the number 3 seed. They've already lost to Alatoona. They're getting beat by 21 early here. No need to take that chance. That's a draw again.
Throw down by number 45 for the East Paulding Raiders. Also, Lorenz Suttles, number 24. Got him by the feet, and number 45 just threw him down. And once again, that'll be DJ James. Made sure he didn't go anywhere. Coach, it seems like East Paulding's defense is playing pretty aggressive, and they don't care who they hit. Would you keep running your quarterback?
Well, I think they're trying to take advantage of that aggressive nature. They're trying to let them. A draw is designed to invite the lineman upfield. You're forcing them to a certain way. You're creating seams. They feel like he's a good runner, obviously, and I don't know. I don't think he's a threat, a breakaway threat, but obviously they feel good about it.
Yeah.
They shifted their tight end right there. Go run buck sweep over here. They've got outside it. Going to be short, barely. I mean, he got it. He got it.
Brought down by number 1, Jaleel Hines, or it might be Hines.
This Hines, they're having a little bit of success running the ball right now, and what they're doing is they're continuing to work. They're getting some kick blocks, and they're finding some seams right there. Your alley players, your outside linebacker, and your safety's got to become that alley player and got to feel that.
Let's see, we have McKeecher in 21, North Cobb 6, if anybody's following that game tonight.
Speed sweep. Should have had that in the backfield. They're having a little bit of success. Now, they're not breaking off 20 and 30-yard runs, but they're having some success. They're getting 3 and 4 and 5 right here. They're moving the chains a little bit. The best thing about this drive for Rome's are keeping East Paulding's offense off the field.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of teams would love to do. They're explosive offense, but they're not careful. This defense will explode on you too.
Yeah. And then that defense is, like I said, they're a little bit wounded. Their pride's wounded a little bit. Got a little, I think they're calling a timeout. We got a little downtime right there.
Yeah, it is going to be a timeout. It'll be a timeout for Rome, I believe, Coach.
Yeah, Rome called a timeout.
Well, we got, I believe that's about 15, 6.
It's a 10:03.
10:03 left in the first half of the ball game. Tonight's homecoming, as you can imagine here, we have all the nice-looking ladies on homecoming court, all dressed up with their parents. Going to be walking with them on the field here in a little bit, about 10 more minutes of playing time or so. And we'll find out who the homecoming queens will be for the evening. It's a pretty good ball game if you're an East Paulding fan. 21-0 in the first half. 10 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first half. East Paulding scored on the opening drive. The next kickoff, they kicked, and then they turned the ball over on a punt. It was ran in by Marcus Gilbert, a 65-yard punt return, and then topped off on another touchdown by Kyler Neal. And we'll have a nice little halftime show coming up for you to give you more information on what happened with Mickey Skelton. We'll stop him from doing the cha-cha slide, and he'll talk a little football coming up at halftime.
Buck sweep again. They're finding some room.
They are finding room, and he got about 10 yards on that carry, so it's going to be another first down for the Rome Wolves.
They're having some success right now, this drive running the ball. They found something that they like, and right now East Paulding really hadn't made an adjustment to it.
Yeah, they would probably want to do that pretty quick. In high school football, almost as easily as East Paulding got 21 points, Rome could do the same thing.
Yeah, they definitely could. Again, I don't think that they can outscore East Paulding, and they're in a big deficit right now, but scoring a touchdown will do a lot for them in this drive.
1st and 10 Rome on the 25.
Buck sweep again. A little bit better played. You got to have some force coming up from that outside, and right now you don't have a good force player on the play side.
Looks like they're running over there on Tay Ray, number 22, also number 32 for the Raiders, Edwin Lacrete. Maybe they found something over there they like, and the coach will make an adjustment, but right now it's 2nd down and 8 for the Rome Wolves.
Got a update from Allatoona. It's 3-0 Allatoona, 7:46 to go before halftime over Villarica. A little bit of a surprise right there to me.
You think it's an underscore game, or you think that it should be?
I would have thought Allatoona would be a little bit in better position. Nice job right there. Eventually, you keep going to the well.
Well, they got no gain on that. Third down now for the Rome Wolves, and I would expect to see them maybe try the other side of the field.
Well,
but you got Jalil over there, so maybe they're.
It wouldn't surprise me to see them come bring the Sally back underneath it.
And the quarterback already showed us he can throw the ball, so he looks like he might be a left-handed quarterback. Coach, is he left-handed?
He's lefty.
All right. 3rd and 7, a long 7 for the Rome Wolves.
Yeah, big play right here for the Raider defense. He's in trouble.
Yeah, he had the pressure on by Lorenz Suttles.
And pretty good coverage right there. You had number 6, Johnny Furby, in good position. He wouldn't get the first down, I don't believe, if he made the catch.
Lorenz Suttles was all over him, made him rush the throw a little bit.
Well, I imagine they're going for it right here because if you punt, we'll see what they do. I mean, it's a long field goal, but if you punt the ball and you punt it in the end zone, you gain 4 yards. But they're going to try one. They're going to put it on the 30. It's a 40-yard field goal.
Well, what they might do here, Coach, is make Miles Hemphill upset. And he'll come out and put one on him, too. Number 39, your field goal kicker.
East took the time out.
Make him think about it.
I think East. I really think East thought they were going to go for it there, which I thought they were going to do. So maybe they didn't feel good in what they had called, or didn't feel good at the personnel against the field goal attempt.
Well, if you're an East Paulding fan, you love what's going on here right now. Almost 5 minutes gone by in the first half, second quarter, first half, and the East Paulding Raiders 21-0. On the Fox 5 in-your-face game of the week. We have the Village People man with a hard hat in the press box now, so we're good to go.
That's a large man with a hard hat on, so I'm not going to say it too loud.
I'll just tell him you said it, Coach.
If I'm not mistaken, it looks like the Darius Banks dad, I believe. Ladarius, is at Vanderbilt playing.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good little barbecue joint. If anybody's hungry.
He does. Good food. Coach is trying to get the crowd up. Everybody trying to get fired up. It's a long field goal right here. You got plenty of leg. Looks good to me.
Looks good to me, too.
Wow. All right.
So now you score 21-3.
Well, I guess that's why I'm sitting up here and I'm not coaching anymore because I don't know how to kick it, but I guess he knows his personnel a little bit better than I do. 40-yard field goal in high school, I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you your percentages are probably less than 50%. But, he felt like he could do it. He needed points on the board, and he got them.
Well, Rome's on the board now. 3 points, 21-3, East Paulding over Rome. As we get ready to see, hopefully, another wall set up by the Raiders.
Well, he had plenty of distance right there. He did a pooch kick the first time, though. To be quite honest with you, after the return on the punt, I'd probably pooch it again. I don't think I would go deep to Marcus, but I tell you, from a coaching perspective, I would also switch my back line and my up backs because if that's what they want to do, fine, I'll still return it with my regular return guys.
I expect to see a nice return here. I don't know, and I could be wrong. The first opening kickoff, this guy didn't seem to kick it too far. I don't think it's going to go to the end zone.
You're going to get a pooch to about the 25-yard line on the far side. 25 to 30 is where he's trying to put it in a basket over there.
We got Tay Ray back deep for the East Paulding Raiders. Also Marcus Gilbert. And here's the kick for the Rome Wolves.
You better fair catch that.
Ooh!
He fair caught that. That's a flag. It's a flag. He gave the fair catch signal.
I wished I would have had the camera on that shot.
No, everybody's getting upset, but he gave a fair catch signal. They hit him, so it's going to be his Paulding ball, 15-yard penalty.
I think they're more worried about the.
Oh, he's all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He's all right.
He got leveled too, Coach.
He got stroked right there. Now, he didn't get hit like the kid did down here,
No.
but he got hit.
He did not get hit like that. And I apologize. I missed that shot. I had my camera on the deep guys. Got caught up in the pooch kick, but, man.
It's 15 from the spot, so They're going to have the ball in real good field position.
There goes the Rome flags, and these fans do not like that. Rome flags running down the field. All right, we do have it's going to be declined.
They'll decline it instead of re-kicking it then. Okay. Well, let's see what the Raiders can do. Plenty of time right here. Got to get some light bulbs fixed, but I think it's 8:05.
That was Kyler Neal, I believe, that took that hit too, Coach. I don't know that they want to make him too mad.
I don't think it was Kyler. I think it was number 3.
Was it 3? I thought it was 30.
I believe it was number 3.
Well, if that was number 3, it was Trey Giles.
Nice pickup right there. Again, I haven't seen it yet. I don't. Looking at what they've given up this year, I just don't think this Rome defense can match up with the personnel of the East Paulding offense.
The East Paulding has got Kamani as a senior, and I believe you have Kyler.
Kyler's a senior.
As a senior, then you got Mitchell and these other guys as juniors.
Got Aaron Black's a senior.
Yep. But Mitchell's got a nice little backup coming up, Tay Ray.
Tay Ray, Marcus Gilbert are both explosive backs.
All right, Mitchell Webb under center, I formation.
All right, so
Kamani.
that's not the right read.
Kamani Thomas looks like he has enough for another East Paulding first down, Coach.
He did, but that was not where his hole was. He bounced that, and they had good containment on the outside. He just outran him, but the good vision normally, but that was not a good read.
Mickey Skelton, Coach Don, Randy, and Matt here tonight bringing you the Friday Night Light game of the week.
Really, though, they could have thrown a flag right there because that was definitely a late hit out of bounds, but they didn't.
I think you may, what we could be seeing, Coach, is maybe a little bit more frustration out of the Rome, who might have came in here tonight thinking it was going to be not quite like it is.
Well, you know, if they win tonight, their losses to Alatoona, they really throw this region into a three-way tie, and give themselves a lot of hope to still earn a possible number 2 seed. But obviously, they're probably going to fall short in those efforts.
Yeah, we can't see the ball to get in on that first down measurement, but I'm sure it's going to be
looking to me like it's a little short the way they look. I can't tell for sure.
Yep.
He's marking it a little short. Yep, about 6 inches maybe. Second down, I like their odds of picking up the first down.
See, Coach, that's why I have you up here, man. You see everything.
I've seen a lot of high school football games over the years.
Well, let's talk about you a little bit. You were in Bartow County for a while.
Yes, sir.
And you did a little bit of radio up there with those guys in Cartersville area.
Did.
What school were you with in Bartow? Cass?
I was at Cartersville High School.
Cartersville, okay.
And coached there for 10 years, was up in the Dalton area, first 5, and been around high school athletics for a long time, and love high school athletics. I'm a firm believer in the fact that high school is made up of academics, athletics, and the arts. It takes all to make a well-rounded school.
Fumble on the play.
He took a step back and tried to pick him a hole, but I don't know that he picked it up. Little delay right there. We got some pushing, and that's going to be
a first down.
Well, let's see who they call it on, but right there, you had the East Paulding kid, you had an East Paulding kid and a Rome kid jawing and pushing, and you got the coaches on the field taking control, because right there, that's just a loss of that's a little bit of. You don't lose your cool in a situation like that because you may just cost yourself 15 yards.
Well, we're going to see what the white hat's going to call here.
I think we're going to have offsetting. I don't think we'll have any ejections because there's no punches thrown, but you're just going to have you're going to have the old offsetting, I believe.
Well, you'll have. I see 4 flags. Four flags and 6 reps.
Well, I just hope the other 2 don't feel left out and throw theirs next play.
I've been corrected. There's 3 flags by River T. Riggs.
And I like right there, if you'll see what Coach Rainey's doing, he's pulling everybody else together and telling them keep your cool. They're getting their attention because you don't put points on the board for running your mouth or pushing people. You make your statements with your helmet and your shoulder pads, and they'll get them refocused, and it'll all be forgotten here in a minute. But we still have our conference going on in the middle of the field.
Looks like they are breaking that huddle up a little bit, Coach, and here's the official call.
Personal foul this way. Offset. Now, you know, I'm not going to say.
Why call the penalty?
Well, it's one of those situations where, yeah, you've got to call it, but it's much ado about nothing. Got an update from Allatoona, 10-0, 5 minutes for the half.
10-0.
And like we said, let's get back to the focus here. He was short on that quarterback sneak, so we got a third down.
Yeah, third down and an inch, it looks like now. They moved it.
Mitchell stepped back and tried to find a little crease, but
we're doing another measurement.
Filled it quickly.
We have another measurement, Coach. We can get in on this one because the players aren't blocking the view.
He's going to set it back up to where it was.
Yeah, I don't. Actually lost yardage. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to second guess again because it's easy for me to do. I don't like the quarterback sneak. You got second down and an inch, run your offense because they haven't slowed you down yet. You've got 3 plays to pick it up. Run your offense.
Do you think that they were expecting that?
Possible.
Yeah, it's hard to run a play and be successful when the team you're running it on has a good idea what you're going to be doing.
Go up there and freeze them. Go up there, give them a hard count, and get a cheap one. Nothing deflates a defense more than giving up a first down without having to run a play.
Yep, and right now everybody's fired up. These people are ringing cowbells and everything else in the stands.
Here we go. We got a fullback in. We're running our offense. There we go. Got a cheap one. They jumped, and he didn't throw the flag. They crossed the line right there, and he did not throw the flag.
Yeah, it cost East Paulding a timeout because they these fans are not happy.
Well, and I'm sitting here. My seat is directly in line with the ball, and they did jump, they did cross, and he missed it.
Both of them missed it, right?
Well, it's really, yeah, both your linemen, but the guy on the East Paulding side, he has the exact same view I did, and they crossed, but got some fired up fans here.
Got the Paris family having some fun tonight.
Well, and we do have to remind them it is high school athletics.
Well, they're right next to us is the paid official running the clock. So they're talking to him, but he don't need to be talked to.
No.
He's not on the field. It's the line judge's call.
He's not, and
they don't have video replay for high school. So
no, and you know what? We all make mistakes.
He probably knows at this point he missed it.
And he probably does. But again, don't put yourself in that situation. Run your offense. And they're going to run it. They're going to pick it up. He got it.
And he fumbled.
He was down. Ground calls that. He's down. Yeah, it's not a fumble. Ground can't cause a fumble.
All right, that's good to hear. 1st and 10 now for East Paulding.
Yeah. Ground can't cause the fumble, and that ball went down when he got flipped right there.
I'm not sure if East Paulding's biggest fan is at the game tonight, Alan Chastain, but you're missing a pretty decent game, Alan, if you're not here. But hopefully you're listening and you're able to pick up all this excitement at the stadium tonight. All right, 1st and 10, East Paulding. The ball's on the 50. Mitchell Webb under center. Kamani Thomas in the backfield all alone. Wide outs to both sides as East Paulding takes another timeout.
I think what we have here is a little confusion. I don't think we're on the same page, and had to burn one right there.
Well, is that their third timeout here in the last?
You know, This is the third one, but you're up 21-3. I think you're okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Randy, gonna give you another update. It's 10-7 over at Alatoona with Villarica. 10-7 with 3 minutes to go. Well, we've kind of come to a stop here. Not a lot of action. We've had measurements, we've had penalties, we've had timeouts, so we've lost a little bit of the flow of the game right now.
Well, here we go. It's going to be first and 10. East Paulding still on the 50.
Got him down the seam. Kyler Neal. Poor tackling effort there.
Nice throw by Mitchell Webb to Kyler Neal. The cannon bombs. We got a big body pump by Lorenz Suttles and Kyler Neal. Kyler Neal is so strong, Coach, on that chest bump. It looked like he knocked Lorenz Suttles back to the bench.
Well, and on the Rome, with Rome right there, you had a seam down the middle of the field, and when you hit Kyler on the seam, he's got a little bit of head of steam right there. You can't try to tackle him high.
No.
That was poor job of tackling, very poor fundamentals, and all he did was spin and keep going.
It takes a couple if you're going to tackle him high. You're probably not even going to bring him down if you have 2 or 3 people hit him high. He's just that good and that strong of an athlete to take care of that.
Yeah, Kyler's such a weapon, and you think about him as a runner, but that's 2 touchdowns receiving tonight. And anytime your fullback has 2 touchdowns receiving, things are probably going pretty well for you. Got a halftime score at South Paulding, 0-0. South Paulding and Hiram. So a little bit of a surprise right there in that score, Randy. What do you think about the South Paulding Hiram 0-0 at the half?
I think that's going to be a pretty good for both teams. I know South Paulding's been struggling a little bit this year. They've played some really great football, Coach, but they've always seemed to come up a little bit short. They won their game last week against New Manchester. That's not really bragging rights. Hiram's had a good game. They're coming off a good game with East Paulding, a nice defensive game last week for Hiram. But I expected a little more score.
Well, South Paulding is pretty strong defensively. To be quite honest with you, they probably should have won the North Paulding game.
Yep.
We're in great position. It got away from them right there.
And that was a nice, gutsy play call by Coach Jones on that one.
And essentially, though, the loser of that one's done. The winner of it still has an outside shot. They need some help. But the loser of it is definitely done in terms of the playoffs. Another one that may get through the uprights.
Ooh! Miles Hemphill from the 35 hit the pole.
You don't get any points for it, but it sure does show strength in that leg, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And a little bit on the intimidating side, to be quite honest with you.
Well, when the first game of the year, when East Paulding plays North Paulding, we had a little bit of a, hey, Susan Jones in the house, flashy cowboy hat. We had a little bit of a, we teased him a little bit. We thought he was going to kick it like that for the football game for North Paulding, but they gave him a quarterback ball to kick, and he did those little puff kicks, and he wasn't happy.
And looks like we got a flag again.
On the coach. Got a sideline infraction on the coach at South Paulding.
Yeah,
that happened a lot.
See, but that right there is nitpicky. That's looking for something. I'm sorry. I was a former coach, and nothing bothered me more than that. Call the game between the lines, and I promise you I'll get out of the way.
Yeah, he wasn't anywhere near the play. The play's down around the 19, 20-yard line. He threw that flag from probably the –
Oh, he was down. He was the back judge. He was 15 yards away. There's no need to throw that flag.
And threw it right at the coach, which you had to – you got to know where the penalty is. But, like you say, that's a wasted call.
And you've got Coach Goddard giving one of his coaches a new assignment is to keep his coaches back. So we've got someone serving as a role of get-back coach down there. And, and rightfully so. I can understand why he's upset. the coaches know what their area is, but at the same time, the play is on the far hash. It has absolutely nothing to do with the play. All that is he's gotten mad at somebody. Somebody said something. They've questioned him during the game, so he's showing his authority. There's no need in it, but there's no recourse either.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what he says. It's his game at this point. So
it is. You say yes, sir, and go on. Buck sweep, nobody feeling. See, what's happening right here, Randy? They're running buck sweep. You don't have anybody coming from the second level to fill that alley, and that's where they're turning it up. They're blocking the corners. They're getting seals on the linebacker, and you've got to have a free safety or an outside backer that's got to come and fill that alley right there, or they're going to continue to have success.
And so far they've had it, and they've been having it on that same side all night. Well, earlier they were going to the right side. That one did come to the left side, but they are seeing something in that play calling that's allowing them to be successful with it.
Well,
1st and 10.
East Paulding's not feeling that alley. Watch it right here. Still not feeling it. That was your outside backer fell back inside on that one.
Yeah, finally brought down by 24, Lorenz Suttles. Also coming off that pile for the East Paulding Raiders is number 48. He was the last man coming up, so he obviously made the first hit. That's Romaine Gooden.
Got a 17-7 score up the road at Alatoona now with 1 minute to go in the first half.
Now, that game is at Alatoona or Villa Rica?
I thought it was at Alatoona, but I may be wrong.
All right, 1st and 10. I'll make it 2nd and 5 for the Rome Wolves. Nice move by number 24, Coach. He spun right out of that tackle. Looks like he has a first down for the.
Again, I don't want to seem like we're being nitpicky because they are having success running the ball, but you've also got you've got a talented Rome squad. They scored 57 last week at North Paulding. You're talking about a team that has put up 34 against South, 21 on Hiram, 17 against Alatoona, 69 against Union Manchester. They can score some points. Right now, they've been kept out of the end zone, but at the same time, they're a pretty good football team. They're probably going to be the number 3 seed coming out of this region. Nice tackle right there. Nice job. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Edwin Lacrete right there. Shot the gap, made a nice saving tackle in the backfield because, again, I think he had a little bit of room out there.
Lost a couple of yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd down and 12 now for the Rome Wolves.
And I'm going to tell you this, as that coach for East Paulding got the flag, there's no worse feeling than that. I never had one thrown on me, but I can feel his pain. Sally a little bit underneath there. A little misdirection. You know, they've tried to run Sally. They've tried to hit it about 4 times. Have not had any success with it, but they have had success with the buck sweep.
Looks like Kobe Watson, the junior, number 61, or make that 51 on that stop for the Raiders, Jeffrey McClarty.
Yeah, Jeffrey's been in on a few tackles tonight, doing a good job getting down the line. The one thing with Rome, and when we have a little break, I'll tell you a story when we played them a few years back. They're going to take a timeout. We were playing them a few years ago, Randy, and they had a kid named Torian Smith going to Notre Dame, quarterback going to Central Florida. They were pretty loaded. And to be quite honest with you, they were probably more talented than the Cartersville team that we had that year. But they were also very basic. They ran buck, belly, and trap, and that was all they ran out of the wing tee. So we were a 4-3 read and react, gap control defense. We didn't slant and stunt and do a lot of things. We were going to be in position. We were going to, play our responsibility. If you beat us because you were better.
Right.
But we started stunning and moving and stemming our inside two to their motion. And at halftime, they had 8 yards. And we spanked them that night, beat them. I think it was like a 35-3 game. But the thing was, I think East is going to have to start moving their guys a little bit up front. They're finding themselves out of position a little bit and creating some seams, and that was a long way to get to my point. But the point being, if you're having a hard time stopping buck sweep, it's because you're not filling and you're not getting guys down the line. So I think you got to start moving them and take a chance here and there and try to stunt right into it. 3rd long right here, though, 3rd and 10.
All right, 3rd and 10, and here we go.
Got a pass. He's open.
Intercepted.
And bad throw. Ooh, bad throw. And I think you're going to have a late hit on the quarterback, so hold on.
Yep. That's what it looks like, Coach.
Yeah, as soon as he released the ball, I stopped watching the quarterback because they had a receiver open. Definitely not a good throw. He was picked off, but I think you're going to have an unsportsmanlike.
That is the call, Coach.
Like I said, I didn't see it. Quarterback obviously was hit, but I did not see it. Don't know if it was late or not, but that was the call. Did have a nice interception, though, by Jaleel Hines. Nice pick, but it's going to go for nothing as Rome will keep the ball here.
Yeah, that's going to be an automatic first down.
A lot of flags tonight.
Mainly because it's 15-yarder.
A lot of flags.
Well, the one flag we were questioning earlier backed everybody up behind that white line on the sidelines.
It'll get your attention. But you know, thinking about, I think that was their warning because they didn't mark anything off.
Right.
So still not sure the need of the call. See nobody filling that alley right there.
He's going to break one in a minute, Coach. He's pretty good out there when he gets open. If they don't stop him and fill that hole, he will be gone. That's number 24, Griffin, is who we're talking about. He looks like he picked up another Rome first down, got about 12 yards on that carry, Coach.
Just the only thing they've had any success with is buck sweep. They haven't ran the ball for positive yardage on anything but sweep tonight.
If you're an East Paulding Raider fan, they had a little success on that interception.
Well, East is up in the face playing man down here now. Buck
There.
again. Down the line, got it. He still picked up 4.
It's going to be second down and a long 5 now for the Rome Wolves. That stop was made by big man number 85.
Well, you know, football is a game of adjustments, and right now Coach Goddard would like to get to the halftime, 28-3. Get in there and make your adjustments. It's hard to make adjustments when on the sideline. You got to get in there. You got to get your kids on the board, take a little time, show them where they're out of position, what they've got to do. Right now they're getting number 24, they're getting Lorenz's attention, trying to get him outside. And now, if you'll notice right there, Randy, what they were saying pre-snap, they're trying to get Lorenz to come on out. What that does is he gets that outside containment. So now you've got a force player, and you're setting that corner. Instead, I think maybe he was getting sucked inside a while ago because I saw the coaches getting his attention right there. They made a little bit of an adjustment and brought him out right now. What that ended up forcing was the back to have to cut in a little bit sooner. That's less space that you've got to cover.
And it also gets the man to cut upfield and not get outside. Is that correct?
Yeah, you just have to defend less grass.
All right. Third down and a long 5 now for the Rome Wolves. They got doubles, twins out to the right.
Well, they're unbalanced because they got the tight end up top too.
Yes.
Buck again.
And he's going to get the first down and more.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice play by
that
25.
Number 25 right there. Malik Bruce saved a touchdown.
Yes, he did save a touchdown, but it's another first down for the Rome Wolves. And he did, after he grabbed him by the feet and tied him up, he still carried him about 3 more yards,
Yeah.
Coach.
Buck sweep. They've had no success with anything other than buck sweep tonight. They used to go to get in there and make some adjustments. Be nice to hold them out right here. You got 45 seconds.
First and goal inside the 10. There's your
Same
buck sweep
play.
again. It's like a little
Down
holding.
the line.
And we got to get it.
You're going to get the hold right there. Lorenz was held. And then you're going to get a celebration, and it just canceled it.
I didn't see the celebration call, Coach.
He jumped up. He was happy because he got the flag. You know, you have to be real careful when you start criticizing. But this is a game of emotion, and I don't believe that there was any intent to show anybody up. I think he was just happy because the penalty was thrown, and he jumped up.
They're letting him know right now, Coach, that why'd you do that? That's what they're saying to him. But, you know, I remember when Kyler came back at the South Paulding game, his first game of the season this year, he He did a little celebrating when his first came back, kind of faced his fans and was beating his chest like Hulk Hogan or something, and they called him for that. So they're not, obviously something's happened around the state to have them a little more aware of that, I guess.
The GHSA, and the Paulding County School District is partners with the GHSA, in their sportsmanship initiative. I just don't know that was showing up anybody right there.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to. It wasn't like it was a touchdown celebration or anything that.
But again, what you're expected to do is when the play's over, you turn around and go back to your huddle. That's the expectation.
They called 2.
Well, they were offsetting. You had the hold, and then you had the sportsmanship.
So the hold is.
They're basically that was where that's where he was tackled at. So no, it was offsetting. The replay the down.
All right, first and goal.
First and goal on the 12.
And these fans are fired up.
Understandably.
28-3 right now, East over Rome. First and goal on the 12.
Well, this is a big couple of plays right here. It would be nice to hold them out right here. 28-10 is a big difference.
Yeah, we got Dupes out to the left.
Buck sweep to the short side.
He didn't go anywhere.
Now, they only have one timeout left. Be careful jumping up celebrating there, guys.
That's what I was going to say, Coach, is that looked like a little more celebrating than what we saw last time.
Yeah. Again, though, guys, this is a game it's a physical game. It's an emotional game. And, sometimes you got to let players play.
He got about a yard on that. Now second down and goal on the 11.
I think the clock was late starting. They are wearing Buck sweep out. And that's Rome's going to take their timeout right there. That's their last one. They'll have one more shot at it, and then they'll try the field goal if they don't get it in. Again, 28-3, 28-6 is a big difference between 28-10. So pretty big to hold them out right here because if I'm not mistaken, Rome gets the kickoff to start the second half. So
yeah, that's correct.
In a perfect world for Rome, they come back they score, they come back on the field. It's 28-17. They score their possession when they start the second half. So this is big right here for East Paulding. They really need to hold them out.
Yeah, they do, and I think they may be able to. Is that 6 minutes or is that 12 seconds?
That's 12 seconds.
All right, so we got time for about one more play, unless it's something quick.
Yeah, they'll take a shot, and it's going to have to be something that either gets them out of bounds or throws the ball into the end zone because they're definitely out of timeouts.
All right, third and goal right here. 12 seconds left in the first half. 28-3, East Paulding over Rome. And this is a must for both teams right now, just like Coach said. Coach Don, Mickey Skelton, Randy Riggs, and Matt here at the East Paulding Superdome, bringing you the East Paulding Rome High School Game of the Week.
We'll take a shot at it, throw a fade. Nice job. They'll come in and kick it now. Really, in that situation, that's about the only thing you have. You've got to throw it in the end zone. If it's not caught, then at least the clock stops. You can't take a chance running the ball.
That was a nice defensive play by Gilbert.
It was.
Number 22 jumped up and make that Tay Ray.
22's Tay Ray, yeah.
Tay Ray,
number 2.
Sophomore here at East Paulding. We'll be watching him for a few more years. And
let's mention this though on the field goal. From the 30-yard line, your angle's not a bad angle. From here, a little bit tighter angle when you get down around the 10-yard line.
And the ball's over on the far side of the hash mark,
You have to pull this ball through.
And it is good.
He did. Listen, people don't understand. High school hashes are a lot wider than pro hashes and college hashes. So, essentially, you have a whole lot tougher angle when you put a ball on a hash and you're down inside the 20-yard line. It really changes the angle and the perspective of the kicker. It's easy because you do have to pull that ball through. It's easy to overcorrect it. It's easy to leave that leg out there. Kind of like if you're hitting a golf ball. If you come through too quick, you're going to hook it, and if you don't, you may just push it or slice it.
Well, there goes the Rome flags on the sideline again, and across our camera. Got the R and the paw foot, and then the M and the E. I guess that's a wolf foot.
I'm guessing that
Wolf print.
is to be the O. And you're going to have a kickoff here, and then a kneel down, and imagine East Paulding will take it to the locker room. Not thrilled, but happy. I think maybe not completely satisfied, but 28-6. You definitely take it. You go in, you make your adjustments, and you come out and you play that second half.
Well, we got Tay Ray back. We got 25 Malik Bruce. We have number 2 Gilbert. And we're probably going to do that kick earlier where they leveled number 3.
Yeah, they're going to pooch it over there. They got to get that fair catch signal ready. No. Little squibber. Take a knee. There we go. And that's going to be the half.
Well, at the end of the first half, your score, East Paulding 28 and Rome Wolves 3. As these fans are somewhat happy with what they've seen and somewhat disappointed in what they've seen also, Coach.
Well, I don't think they were happy with the way the half ended. I think you saw a Rome Wolf team that probably ran buck sweep for about 75, 90 yards on my head, my estimate in my head. I know Mickey's working on those stats, but I don't know that anything had anything positive other than buck sweep, and they'll make that adjustment at halftime.
Yeah, they'll find a way to stop that, and maybe the best way to stop it maybe is to go and use it on them.
Well, we're not exactly a buck sweep team. We're an eye downhill team, but you know. There's a reason people run the wing tee, and it creates seams and creases, and when you've got little scat backs like Rome seems to have, you find a lot of success running wing tee.
But it seemed like I had a little question in the first half, Coach. It looked like Rome had a real tight offense. They didn't want to spread the defense out too far, and then later on there into the end of that first half, they were trying to spread them out a little bit and maybe get that buck sweep going a little bit better for them.
Yeah, anytime you run your splits a little bit wider, you're gonna create some seams within your defensive front, and Rome probably did that a little bit later in the half, trying to create some room and have some space for their backs. So. Yeah, and Randy, looks like we're about to start homecoming there, as East Paulding will be crowning their homecoming queen tonight. Homecoming's always an exciting time for all high school students.
That it is, as they have the JROTC out with their
have the swords. That's a nice. Definitely a nice touch right there, as the East Paulding Air Force ROTC is in full dress blues and have their swords. As each young lady comes through, they're raising and lowering their swords. So that's a nice touch.
That it is. You know, the JROTC is a good additive of all the schools. Each one has a group representative. All of them are award-winning programs, and it's just wonderful to see the young men and women out there representing.
Yeah, our ROTC programs at all our area high schools are first rate. They do an excellent job of preparing the students not just for possible military careers, but for life.
That is, I don't have the names for the young ladies coming out, but I can.
Hey, we've got some stats. Yeah.
That's what I was going to give you here for the first half. East Paulding, of course, dominated with a score of 28. They had 3 for 4 passes completed at 117 yards. They had 10 runs for 73. It's had 4 first downs out of the group, and now, of course, one of those touchdowns came from special teams with a punt return of 60 yards return on this.
Yeah, by Marcus.
So, and then now we had 4 penalties at 45 yards. Now, Rome, they messed up. They had 2 field goals, ending with 6, but there was 1 for 3 on their passes at 12 yards, 25 runs at 127 yards, and as you said, most of that was on that buck. What'd you call that? Buck sweep. Buck sweep coming in, and They had 2 penalties at 15 yards. They ended up with 8 first downs, all of which came, all but one came in the second half, and 4 of them came within that last drive of what it looked to be almost something like 14 plays.
What did that last drive right there for them? Where did they start on?
That's they ended up with 60 yards.
60
so
yards on it.
Started at
And they ended up with a field goal with it. So
field goal. So that's well, they had 60. Well, they started on the 20, but then with the penalties, that brought them up. So.
okay, that's right. They did start on the 20 because of Miles. He's such a
touchdown.
weapon. You know, every possession they've had, they've started at the 20. When you make a long field, first of all, against a team that you're having a hard time moving the ball and scoring on, and now you've got to go 80 yards every time, it's hard to do.
As I'm watching, they're setting up with that buck sweep coming over. I almost thought sometimes at some point in time that Bo was going to keep that ball to come into something off to come around for a fast pitch or a pass over to the opposite side, because our whole defense is shifting with that.
Yeah. Well, you know, you could fake the buck sweep and have him throw back. There's really no pitch option off of it. You could bring a receiver in motion and have that. I haven't seen that yet. But really, it's one of those things. Until they stop you, don't stop yourself. So continue to run buck sweep, because they're having a lot of success with running the buck.
Well, from a layman's side here too, looking on, now Frank Griffin's doing a good job as he's getting outside, but he's also cut back in when he sees that opening.
He is, and that's what it is. It's a matter of, with buck sweep, what you're doing is you're getting down blocks from your tight end or your split. You're pulling 2 guards, your backside and your play side guard. You're trying. The play side guard is kicking the first man. The backside guard is wrapping around. He's going to pick up whatever comes through. And I keep talking about filling the alley. You have inside alley players and outside alley players. If that second guard wraps around, he's picking up that inside alley guy. So now your free safety's the one that's got to fill right now. And right now we're not filling it very well, to be quite honest with you. And that's why they've rushed for 227 yards.
And then as we look on this, like I said, it's come down to about every third to fourth play they'll get a boost. They had a couple of 11-yard runs that were in there, quite a few 5 and 6, and then multiple 1, 2, and 3 yard runs on this. So.
And not to get us off track, but I'm going to give an update here. We've got a 7-0 South Paulding over Hiram early third quarter. So that's finally got some points on the board in that ball game. And 17-7 is the last one I had on Allatoona Villa Rica.
But sometimes, when you'll see that low score, we'll think, a boring game. But other times on this, you see if they're moving up and down the field, and just we're just not able to convert that.
Being that this game's just now getting into halftime, and that one's already started third quarter, I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's not a lot of balls being thrown in that game. It's a defensive special team, physical game is probably what you're seeing right there. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Hiram's hosting that one tonight. I think it's at Hiram. And have you been to a game at Hiram this year?
Not this year, I haven't.
I'm going to be honest. One of the best playing surfaces you'll see. They've done a tremendous job. Excellent playing surface. They do a really good job of taking care of that field, and really looks nice.
I kind of like, negative sounds like in a hole, but I like the part that when you're sitting right in there, it's just you can't see anything else. You're right there at that field, and all attention there, and being down on the field before at different graduations and such. I know you hear
right
on the floor, and that's just like when East Paulding, the crowd got alive up in here. You can see the boys' reactions, and you just see them aspire to get that praise and that clap.
Well, and as you can hear, I believe our senior queen is being introduced right now. It's hard for us to hear it, obviously, but the crowd is getting really excited right there. So, homecoming is a special time. You only have 4 chances in high school to experience it. And, it's one of those things that at the time you can't wait to get out and you spend the rest of your life wishing you could get back in.
homecoming, high school athletics, high school students. It's a great experience, and it also is just what you make it.
Before the game, Don, I got a chance to walk over by the auxiliary gym, which is where they were doing the staging for, and got to see some of the dads and the moms. And of course, you see them gleaming. They gleaming. The fathers are proud to escort the other escorts out. But it's kind of fun just to sit back and feel that too, and watch them go. Of course, you almost wonder sometimes if the participants, if they have to talk or say what color dresses they're wearing, because as they look out, there's not one color repeated.
No.
There's coming in, you almost want to be a fly in the locker room too. That's the.
I can tell you what's going on right now. That's not a satisfied East Paulding Raider team, I can assure you. You don't want to give up 100 yards rushing for the game, much less 127 in the first half. However, the most important thing is the result, and you are up 28-6. But if you're satisfied, then you're going to get beat in the second round of the playoffs. You're not satisfied with 28-6. You're not satisfied giving up 100-plus rushing. You also understand the fact that it's one guy doing it to you because 23 is not playing tonight. Their top back last week, Myron Washington, had 150-plus against North Paulding. So essentially you've got Frank Griffin is really the only threat carrying the ball. Give credit to the Rome Wolf offensive line and receivers because obviously someone's blocking well.
They're blocking well, and also, again, hats off to Frank Griffin, as we stated earlier. His vision on the field and seeing the holes and reacting to them. And he's also carried a few of our tacklers. He's carried them an extra yard or two.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Like I said, when you give up 127 yards in the first half, there's a lot of things that are going right for you. But there's some things that are being addressed in the East Paulding locker room right now. First of all, like I said, you've got to have an alley filler. There's nobody filling that alley right now. I think you've got some force guys that are coming up and they're causing the back to cut up. Sometimes sooner than he wants to. If you're not getting good down the line pursuit and you're not getting an alley play, you're going to have seams.
Oh, that's Don. As we said a little earlier, we were mentioning so you had the volleyball that was going on. That North Paulding was what took a second seed in the rounds, and I believe they
got defeated yesterday.
3-1.
Got defeated by Tucker. You do have Hiram who won, who play Greenbrier High School in Augusta next week, and you have South Paulding, the South Paulding Lady Spartan softball did win their second round matchup, and they have advanced to Columbus. And I don't know if our listeners understand how the softball championships work in the state of Georgia, but once you get past the second round, you're down to 8 teams, and at that time, the 8 teams from all classifications come to Columbus and play what amounts to a double elimination tournament. And really a really great environment down in Columbus. They play it at the park that hosted the Olympic softball tournament in 1996. And they do a tremendous job. They have opening ceremonies. It's first class down there. I was fortunate enough to go down there last year with Paulding County. And they really do it right. It's a great experience for the girls. And the best. We wish the best to all our teams that are continuing to advance.
Don, I had the fortune, as they announced the queens. I couldn't hear the name, Don.
No, I'm not able to hear it.
Comfort Justice. Yes, but as a softball, I had the fortune of being at South Paulding I believe it was North Forsyth as they hosted, and that was just some defensive sound ball was being played. The pitching was good. The shortstop just literally showing out. That's with some dynamite plays, and I think that the first game they got in North Forsyth's head, and the second game ended up run ruling 10-0. But as I said, it was just sound fundamental defense on that, and it was just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's first time in school history. You know, Coach Oglesby does a really good job, and first time in school history, and second time back to back that we've had Paulding County School represent us down there. So tremendous job. Hats off to them, and hope that they have continued success next week in Columbus.
Yes, I occasionally talked with them the other day and told them it was East that spurred them on, because in the play here, East jumped out on unexpected and
beat them
and beat them on a game, and from there each game I watched from there, you watched an intensity, which of course on an athlete is what you're going to see when they come back in a team that they took lightly or they didn't take fully to heart.
Right.
To come back with that intensity, so it's fun to watch.
Well, and sometimes you need those games to get your attention. I don't think anyone's ever. I take that back. I believe there was a boxer that retired undefeated, but you know you're gonna get beat, and you learn more about yourself after a loss than you do a victory. It's easy to carry yourself when you're a winner, but how do you carry yourself, and what are the things you do when you get defeated? You know, you have a couple of options. You can pout and moan and groan and point fingers, or you can get back up, you can dust yourself off, you can work to improve the deficiencies that caused you to get beat, and those are just, you learn a little bit more about yourself after a loss.
But to see that resolve and to come back, congratulate the other team, but at the same time let them know, hey, we're here,
yeah,
and we're coming back.
Well, and you know, and like I've said, I love high school athletics. Love everything about the high school setting. And, you know, athletics prepare you. They're not life, but, you know, in life you're going to get knocked down. You're going to have disappointments, and you learn a lot about teamwork and a lot about, you know, heart and hard work and fortitude. And there's nothing like high school athletics to me. It's never the same once you get out of high school. College athletics are different. Pros completely different because you're playing for different reasons. So, right now, you're playing with your buds, you're playing with who you grew up with, you're playing with your friends that you've known all your life, and you're playing for your school.
You know, Randy mentioned the feeder team with the football a little earlier. The feeder team with the softball, I know East Paulding and Paulding, both are the first year for them to participate, so their teams participated in the silver league of this, and the other schools had representation in the gold. But watching Paulding County, which Paulding, the silver league, they took first place on the silver side. But they definitely had four pitchers deep in this. So I'm watching for that to help Paulding as they were already coming on strong, and then at the same time now with East, as they have some young ladies that are coming up that hopefully shows just a little bit more fundamentals and development into a school program.
Well, and pitching is the key too. In fast pitch softball, one pitcher makes a big difference. And a little bit different in the fact that baseball is they can pitch back to back. And so, yeah, it sets you up real well. Pitching depth is important. But, again, pitcher doesn't win a game by themselves. So, but it does give you a good head start.
Well, that's as it was the same way with North Forsyth. Their pitcher was bringing the ball in good, and there was some errors right at first. But, you know, that, and again, as an athlete and as the pitcher, you may know those errors are there, but you're still looking at those are runs and people on the base for what I'm doing.
Yep.
And that's and I know watching through with her, I know that was affecting her as well as seated in with other pitchers or in the games. And as a coach, that becomes a challenge too, to come out and let that plays over. Now we have to move.
Yeah, and that's in any sport. You know, that's the thing, is you're going to mess up and you're going to have bad breaks. But if you dwell on what's already happened, then it affects what's going to happen. And it's a lot easier said than done, obviously. But you've got to be able to move on as a pitcher. You know, you can't let that affect you if you're batting as well. If you know or making plate appearances. If you're a catcher, you can't have a bad at bat and let it affect you calling the next inning. So, yeah, it's like I said though. You know, you make mistakes in life too, and if you pout about them and dwell on them, then they affect you. They continue to affect you. So you've got to learn to move on.
I know East is hosting the cross country in the morning. I believe they have the meet here. I was speaking with one of the homecoming court, the dad, and he's got the number 1 and number 2 time runners that are in his household right now. It's so he was telling me he was leaving at halftime. It's Robert Sikorsky. I told him I'd give him a shout out.
Yeah, and his daughter Leah. I do not know Leah, but we put out the athletic adventures every week, and she did have the top time that Coach Dawes had sent in to me for the ASICS meet that they ran in Carrollton last week. You've got an East Paulding's girls cross country team's ranked 6th in the state. And you've also got Lily Cadane, who's had some impressive times. And East Paulding will be hosting the Region 5 5A meet at White Oak Park as well on November 3rd. And I'd say your East Paulding girls, your North Paulding girls, very strong. Definitely both have a chance to advance. North Paulding boys, very strong team. Hiram's got an individual runner, very strong. I can't remember his name at this time, but athletics in Paulding County are continuing to improve. They'll continue to get better because you've gotten to the point where the community expects you to do well and expects you to succeed, and they're putting a lot into our program, so that makes a big deal. Definitely makes a big difference.
What it does is the boys are coming back out on the field to go ahead and get the re-warmed up.
And we've got an update from Hiram. It's 14-0 South Paulding, and want to thank Ken Rich for sending us that score. And also got another update from Allatoona, and it is 24-7 Allatoona with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. And my contact over there is telling me that Allatoona came out with a little bit of fire after halftime, and it's I imagine you'll still see a little bit of this. You'll see a little bit of that from that East Paulding defense. I just don't believe they were very happy with their performance.
Right as Rome comes out now, as they're coming out from the locker room to start to do their pre-half stretches.
Well, and we would be remiss if we did not mention, too, that with halftime festivities going on, neither band played, so both bands will play after the game. And do hope that people will stay and watch the bands, because both schools have excellent bands and excellent histories of great performances. And not often do we get a chance to give a shout-out, but I'm going to give one to the band director at East Paulding High School. Stephen Hendricks does an incredible job. He's got a lot of excitement with the band program. His numbers are up, and if you haven't seen them perform, you need to give them a look and a listen, because they really do a good job.
It's each of the programs as they're coming to, and actually I like watching the crowd too, because you'll see they get into both bands as you see the kids out there performing, and as you start. And of course now the hometown crowd will go a little bit more crazy with us, with our students out there, but still you see that as the band comes off the field, they're right at our bleachers.
Right.
And you'll see parents that'll come down and talk to and congratulate and tell them how good, how they like the program, and then to the times I've seen solos, I've seen the parents come down and talk to those musicians, and it's
well. And I mentioned earlier too, successful high schools are well-rounded. They're strong academically, they're strong athletically, and they're strong with the fine arts. If you see a program that's excelling, you'll probably see that they're doing good things in multiple areas. East Paulding, Dr. Fraker moved over to East this year. J.R. Neal's the new athletic director. So definitely had some changes this year. And Coach Goddard coming in as a new coach. Talk about Coach Goddard for a minute. Coach Goddard was on the sideline at the Georgia Dome last year in the 5A state championship as defense coordinator for Walton. He's been around that program for the last 6 years. Previous head coach in Stomps at Cass and at Wheeler, and I actually coached against him when I was still coaching. He does a really good job. He coaches his kids hard. He treats them well. He treats them right, but he sets high expectations for him, and give him some time, give him a chance, and I think you'll find that he'll do some really good things here.
We were working on one of the fields over at the middle school on the softball field, and a couple of young men from the football came over. I guess they may be friends with some of the girls on the varsity side. Just come over helping us getting those fields ready, and they had nothing but praise. And then talking said, that like anything, there'll be an adjustment when a change is made.
Oh, yeah.
But they were enthusiastic and saying that they were parental buy-in, school buy-in, and that they were ready to get the season going.
Yeah, well, nobody likes change because you're scared of the unknown. There's comfort in knowing what to expect and know how things are going to be done, and a lot of times the nervousness comes just from the lack of knowing. But you know what the saying, time heals all wounds, and time also, you're going to figure out exactly who you are and what you are over time. You can fake it for a little bit, or you can fool somebody for a little bit, but you find out exactly who and what you are over time.
Well, Don, it's been a pleasure talking with you and sharing the stats and a little conversation through halftime. I'm going to turn this back over to Randy Riggs for the play-by-play. And
I thought you were taking my place.
No,
I thought you were taking my place. I didn't know Randy was coming. I thought you and Randy were doing second half.
All right. Coach Breedlove's got it going on, man. Coach Don, the man. Well, we're getting ready to start the second half of play. Miles Hemphill, number 95, going to kick the ball. The change will be set on the 20, just in case he does what he's been doing all night.
Let me give you an update real quick, Randy. It's 17-0 South, third quarter.
That came from nowhere, didn't it? Wasn't it like 0-0?
0-0 at half.
Wow. Chandler Brooks and those guys from South Paulding got a good thing going on, I guess. And there's the kick, and it's going to be in the end zone. Go figure that one, Coach.
With the way that they've scored over at South, I'm going to guess they've had a special teams or a defensive score. Have scored quickly.
I would, if it's a defensive score, I would probably say that Chandler Brooks picked them off and did a pick six. Chandler's a good little ball player. He's a great kid. We have a lot of great athletes here in Paulding County. Is the reason we do what we do, Coach. We try to get these guys out here and get them exposed to the public because in the school system, these guys are good kids.
Yeah, a lot of excellent players, a lot of fine people.
First and 10 on the 20. There it goes. Same thing we ended with, Coach.
Yeah, but you see that they strung it out a little bit better right there. You had a little bit more force on it.
2 yards on the carry, second down and 8 for the Rome Wolves. Nice stop that time by the East Paulding Raiders. Sure, little discussion at halftime had some things to do with that stop.
Not looking ahead, not considering this game's over, but let's be real. Rome's got Lithia, Springs, Villarica, and Woodland coming up. I would see this Rome team finishing up 8-2 as the number 3 seed. And before it's all over tonight, Randy, we do want to talk about what's still to come in the region. But I'm telling you, November 9th, go ahead and mark it on your calendars because you're going to have Allatoona rolling in here. And I'm going to predict both of them are 9-0 as they come in. Not taking anything away from the North Paulding crowd. It wouldn't surprise me at all if North Paulding beat them, but I'll be honest, I think Allatoona probably is the favorite in that game.
They've got a real strong quarterback over there in the Allatoona program. He's a good ball handler, good runner, good passer. He kind of leads a team like most quarterbacks do, but he's got a little extra talent in his skills there, Coach.
Big third down here for Rome because, again, one of my favorite stats is 3 and out, and it's always 3 and out on the first possession of each half is huge.
Lorenz Suttles.
Lorenz lit him up right there. But, again, now, I don't have the stats in front of me, but you have X number of possessions each ball game. And right now, both times Rome's touched the ball, first half, second half, it's been a 3 and out. That's a momentum killer.
Yeah, especially when you get your quarterback hit like that. Lorenz Suttles just put him on
and the fact that they ran the ball down East Paulding's throat the last possession before the half.
Well, that's why halftime you go in and make adjustments, and East Paulding looks like they did that. And we're going to have a punt here, Coach, and it's going to be going over there.
It's going to be returnable.
Gilbert's got it, number 2.
It's going to come back over here because they're going to return it to this sideline.
Mr. Webb did what he had to do, put a little block on over there.
That's good coverage by Rome.
That was nice coverage.
Good coverage.
Well, it's going to be first and 10 now, East Paulding on the 38-yard line.
Good field position.
Good field position for them. They needed that to get another score or two in this game. Wouldn't hurt to light it up pretty quick.
But
Coach.
see, you kind of give a little credit to Miles Hemphill on that because they start on the 20 every time. If you start on the 20 and you force a 3 and out, you're going to have great field position.
Mitchell Webb under center. Lone man in the backfield. We got Dukes to the left.
Got Kyler split up there on the wing.
And
Coming back to him, Sally.
Kyler Neal got about 8 yards on that carry, Coach. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 for the Raiders on an 8-yard run by Kyler Neal.
That's out of a different formation, but it's the same principle as the Sally that they're running out of the wing tee, so that gives you a little bit more of an understanding of it. It's a good view of it because they're faking the tall sweep to the top. They're bringing it back underneath with the handoff to Kyler. They're pulling a backside lineman.
Mitchell Webb's pretty good about pulling people, following through with his fakes and all. All right, 2nd down and 2. Mitchell Webb hands off to Kamani Thomas up the middle, put his magic out there.
Vision.
He done broke to the left. Kamani Thomas is going. He's got 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
No, got a tackle or pushed out of bounds right there by number 1, Jeremy Wells, and he saved a touchdown.
He saved a 35-yard run from Kamani Thomas, who was designed to go out tackle on the left side, and saw real quick that was closed up and took off around the outside. Got about 35 yards, Coach.
Zone blocking scheme right there, and basically it's man on man, and he finds a seam or a crease, and the vision right there, he saw to bounce it, and he had the speed to get out there.
I say a man on man with Kamani Thomas is usually in Kamani's favor.
Watch right here again. You got Kyler at tight end. They're going to be dragging him. There he is. And Aaron tipped it to him.
That's heads-up ball right there. Coach, was that designed, Coach?
Well, I don't think the tip was. But again, the key to East Paulding is watch where Kyler Neal is. And they had him at tight end. They were dragging him right there. He really was the second. He was the second back. I mean, the second alternate because you had a tight end dragging at 5. You had a tight end dragging at 15. You had a tip drill. Essentially, is what you ended up with.
And it was an excellent play by Kyler Neal, not taking his eyes off the ball. Did he even break stride?
No.
He caught the tip ball in stride.
No,
and does what only Kyler Neal can do here.
I'll go out on that proverbial limb and say that they probably didn't draw it up that way, but it was effective.
The extra point attempt is good, 35-3. Is that right? Or
35-6.
35-6. East Paulding over Rome Wolves. Opening minutes, second half. East Paulding got it together in the locker room. They stopped the Rome offense again on 3 and out, Coach, and capitalized right away on that.
Well, Rome was feeling pretty good. I mean, now, are you feeling great because you're down 28-6? No, but you just took the ball from the 20 and you went down and you got a field goal right before half. So they did score. So that you carry that over. You also have the mindset you're getting the ball. But then they go 3 and out, and bam, there goes East Paulding again. And it didn't take long either.
Thank you. We got Mitchell Webb's mom and dad down here with letting my son sit with him and got him all wrapped up in a blanket.
Well, it's not cold in here.
It's not cold in the press box. I give us that.
This lamp is a little warm.
I didn't know if you wanted the lamp.
No, I'm getting old. My eyes are getting worse, so I appreciate the light.
Well, I told him, I said, Coach Breedlove has got excellent eyesight. You probably don't need a lamp, but keep it here just in case he decides he wants it.
No, the eyes are starting. I'm starting to notice the changes in the eyes.
All right, Miles Hemphill kicking off for the East Paulding Raiders. A changer set already on the 20. And we'll try to get this camera shot on this kick, and that's going to go.
Golly, wait.
Oh, almost to the goalpost again.
And again, I don't think they've started anywhere but the 20, have they?
No, I think the only time in last year that when East Paulding had any kind of a run back, I think it was 3 times in the season, and all the times Coach Reed told him at the time, I want the ball on the 3. So he tried to keep it in play. Other than that, it's going in the end zone. Well, here we are. We're going to try it again. Rome Wolves, 1st and 10 on the 20. There goes the bug sweep again, Coach. And nowhere. Flag on the play. Looks like it could be holding by number 55.
I'm going to guess hold by who threw it. You can generally tell what the penalty is by who throws the flag.
Looks like Sarandon Marshall, 55, is what I'll go with on that. It is holding. and it went right to him. So let's just give it to him, Coach.
Well, you know, they don't announce him in high school, but
Yeah.
I think he's probably the guilty party.
When you're out there, well,
Maybe Dr. Swearingen's not listening tonight.
let's going to go back.
We're starting to get a route going at Allatoona. It's 31-7 now.
That's should have been what I would have thought in the first quarter.
Well, yeah, like I said, I was a little surprised with it. Well, he almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Original line.
Number 1 on the reception for the Rome Wolves. Nice catch by number 1, by the way, Coach.
You know, he's had a couple of receptions tonight. If I'm not mistaken, he's the only one that's caught a pass. But with that holding penalty, you're still looking at 2nd and 12.
All right, yep, 2nd down and 12. Rome comes to the line of scrimmage. We got Dupes out to the right, under center. Quarterback number 8, Bo. Oh!
We have a little movement there by the tackle,
We're not going to call his number or his name, but
but he was anxious.
I learned quick, Coach.
Well, though, I think the rule is the guys that are having their education paid for are making millions of dollars. You can call their numbers all you want.
Yes, sir.
But
2nd down and 15, it looks like, maybe 13.
I believe the play was definitely going up top because he was trying to scoop the defensive lineman. Trying to cut that inside kneecap.
Yep, 2nd and 16 for Rome, and here's another pass play, Coach.
With where he caught the ball and the way the route was, he really caught the ball right at the line of scrimmage. So when you're looking at 2nd and 3rds and 20s and you're running 5-yard, 4-yard routes, it's tough to pick them up.
Yeah, that was number 4 again for the Rome Wolves, and that's going to be Thaddeus Barrett.
I think we're back at 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. Now a hold here, you get the ball at good field position again, probably right around midfield.
Yeah, I almost could see that happening right here as well, Coach.
Well, I think Rome has to put it in the air.
Yeah, we got trips out to the left. Left-handed
He's in
quarterback, he's
trouble.
going down.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Looks like Lorenz Suttles.
Yeah, Lorenz was there along with number 55, Dylan Coleman. Give them both a half on that one.
And Dylan, by the way, is a junior, so he's just getting pumped up for next year. Coach, it looks like East Paulding's got a chance to really do something in the playoffs, but the region they're playing in is not a whole lot of competition for them. What happens after this kick? Let's talk about how school decides what region they're in or what A bracket they're in.
No, you're going to be able to return this one right here if you get a good bounce with it. Come on, he's trying to come to the sideline.
That's going to be
This is
Gilbert.
where the wall's set up.
Mitchell Webb's
Find the seam. Here it is.
taking lead on that.
Nice tackle right there. That may have been a touchdown-saving tackle. Number 4 for Rome,
That's Thaddeus again.
Thaddeus Barrett.
Could be Thaddeus, but I think it's Thaddeus.
And you were talking about how a region's determined.
Yeah, how are they decide if they're, in the 6As or 5As?
Regions are set by the Georgia High School Association. It's based on enrollment, the FTE count on a certain day, and every school submits their enrollment. You're then the first thing they do is they set the bottom number for each classification, 6A, 5A, 4A. You then have a set number of days to petition to play up, and I'll get back to it after this.
All right, Mitchell Webb under center, I formation. Hand off Kamani Thomas, and he's going to get us some running room, and he's going to spin, and he's going to break a couple tackles. And Kamani gets enough for a first down plus 2 more yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Yeah, but you have a set number of you have a set time to choose to play up. You can play up, but you can't choose to play down.
Gotcha.
Once the classifications are set, the reclassification committee sets regions. You then have an appeal for regions too, based on distance or travel or isolation. And after that, regions are set. Now, as far as brackets are predetermined and preset by the Georgia High School Association for a 2-year cycle.
All right, we got wide out to the right, I formation for the Raiders. Mitchell Webb under center. And he's going to fake a handoff to Kamani Thomas, and he's putting it in there.
He's open.
And he's there.
And he's there, touchdown.
That is a
35-yard Mitchell Webb to Gilbert, touchdown. What a play by East Paulding.
Well, first of all, plenty of time to throw the ball. Nice route by Marcus, got open, and a great throw by Mitchell right there. Great throw, a lot of air under the ball. I mean, just hit him in stride. Nice play overall by the offense for East Paulding.
Coach, when East Paulding was put into this A bracket, this was 4A or 5A, where they are, how does that affect them if they go to the playoffs? The other teams are, I guess they're all 5A.
Yeah.
So they're not really going to play a team that's a bigger school.
No, you're going to play similar size school.
And I don't guess it matters in their region. They probably have the same where they're dominating in their region as well. So they're actually all playing the same level football. Is that kind of what it boils down to?
Yeah, your numbers are comparable. You're going to have an East. All your Paulding County schools, numbers-wise, are comparable. Everybody within 5A is comparable.
Okay.
As is 6A or 4A. But when you start looking at brackets, we match up against Region 8 out of 5A. And just kind of keep your eye. It's going to be kind of neat. You could have some pretty interesting matchups. Right now, if it ended today, let's say East Paulding finishes 1 and beats Alatoona. Probably going to be Clark Central coming up, which
They're
East
tough.
Paulding had to go over to Clark Central a couple years ago, but they're the number 4 seed. They're struggling a little bit. Right now, you got Gainesville and Flowery Branch are the 1 and the 2 over there. Gainesville's very explosive, runs a spread, throws it all over the place. Got their former quarterbacks are back up over to Alabama now, Blake Sims. You've got the former head coach at North Paulding High School, Heath Webb, who's over at Flowery Branch now. He could end up coming over to one of the Paulding schools for a game. So you have some interesting matchups.
All right, here goes another kickoff from Miles Hemphill in the end zone. So we'll start on the 20 once again. 1st and 10 for Rome on the 20. One more time.
Like I said, it's tough to start at the 20 every time. It's just people don't understand what a weapon that is.
So is there anybody in the other region over there that's dominating like East is over here with an explosive offense? And
Yeah, Gainesville's stout.
So my point to all that was, are we playing people here and then get to another division and playing more competition?
Well,
But they're in the same boat, I guess.
every round the teams improve. You have mismatches a lot of times in the first round. You do. But as you get into the second and especially the third round, there's nobody left once you get past that second round that's not a quality football team.
Gotcha.
You've got a Northside Warner Robins who is stout. Went up and beat Flowery Branch pretty bad earlier this year. Flowery Branch probably be the number 2 over there in 8. So you got Warner Robins who knocked East Paulding out last year, very strong again this year. So the big thing's qualify, make the playoffs, get through that first couple of rounds, and then anybody's got a shot.
All right, 3rd down and 3 for the Rome Wolves. As we had number 24, Frank Griffin, carried the first. He carried the first one for about 5 yards, and then we had an up the middle for another 2 yards. So that's going to make it 3rd down and a long 4 now for the Rome Wolves. As we have a wide out to the left and dupes out to the right.
We are definitely misaligned on the inside. What are we doing? Okay, Lorenz walked up at the end.
Yeah, we do have a delay of game for the East Paulding Raiders, or for the Rome
make it
Wolves.
3rd and 8.
They don't seem like they'd want to do that, Coach. They're going the wrong way, and they need to get a first down conversion here.
They've not anything's gone right on this. Nothing's gone right for Rome second half. they've gone backwards and they've been scored on pretty quickly.
It's homecoming night here at East Paulding Raiders. It's always nice to win, but it's especially nice to win on homecoming. A lot of festivities and a lot of thought goes into this homecoming games.
Waggle, he's covered.
Overthrow, nice leap by number 1.
Had him high, had him low, and quarterback found nobody.
They got a lot of pressure on him, Coach. The 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times he's thrown the ball tonight in this game, he's been pressured every time.
Yeah, he hadn't had a chance to get back there. But again, they don't throw the ball.
Yeah.
So when you don't throw the ball, your offensive linemen are not very adept at pass blocking.
Looks like he's got the talent, too, so he's good left-handed running, throwing quarterback.
Big kid. That may be blocked.
It is blocked.
Yep. Looked like Lorenz Suttles blocked that. And again, when things are going bad, they tend to continue to snowball on you a little bit right there. Nice special teams play, and it's going to set the Raiders up on about the 21-yard line.
Yeah, it was Lorenz Suttles, I believe, Coach. He got in there and put the move on those guys and got the ball. No roughing the kicker or anything like that, and it's going to be 1st and 10, like you said. Nice play for the East Paulding Raider defense, and they're trying to do something with the score now, Coach. They know that's in their favor. I guess they've known it since they left the locker room.
Now this is your offense's last series, I would think.
Mitchell Webb under center, I formation.
Or your starting offense, put it that way. A little fade.
And caught by number 2.
Dropped it.
And dropped.
Had it.
Nice pass.
Ball. Yeah, nice ball right there.
Nice pass once again from Mitchell Webb as he laid it right there, a little jump and a land in the end zone, and the ball came loose. And that was number 2.
As
Marcus Gilbert. As we have 2nd down and 10 with the ball on the 23-yard line. East Paulding Raider fans have got to be impressed with this Raider team tonight. They've done most everything right. A little sideline infraction from the coach was something that was not right, but other than that, make that Kamani Thomas up the
nice
middle.
Spin move.
Spinning and turning and got about 6 yards on that carry, Coach. It's going to be 2nd down, make it 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, he took a shot on 1st down, and if you're going to take a shot, take it then.
Make it 3rd and a long 3 for the Raiders. Mitchell Webb looks on the sideline for his instructions. Mitchell Webb had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to go visit LSU. Really impressed with the school. They've been impressed with him. Of course, he's only a junior, so he's got another year to go. Pitch out to
Got a
Kamani
little
Thomas.
tall sweep. Got a nice block by Kyler Neal. Got a flag.
Kamani takes it down to about the 5-yard line, but it may be coming back, Coach.
Yeah, they're going to call a hold, but nice block, I thought, out here on the perimeter by Kyler, but they may have called that for a hold, but it looked like a good block to me.
Coach, in a situation like this, do they look harder for calls like that to make sure the score don't get out of line, or is it just kind of?
I think it's human nature to try to even things sometimes. Right. Again, you have to be real careful with how you say it, but I think the human tendency is to try to. You don't want to see embarrassment, and I don't think East Paulding's trying to embarrass anybody.
Right.
They played bad last week.
Yes.
They had a real poor taste in their mouth, and this is the 7th game of the season. You're running out of time to work things out, and you don't get things worked out Monday through Thursday. You have to get them worked out in live competition.
Yeah, you have a tendency to not run full speed, not tackle full speed, and all that.
You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get hurt playing each other. You have to prepare, but it's a different type of preparation.
Right, and that's why at the beginning of the season, I guess we see so many cramps. Even though they've had weeks of practice, you haven't gone full speed.
Slant.
Touchdown.
Nope. Going to be short, but 1st down.
Number 3 for the Raiders.
Yeah, and that's a big catch right there.
Trey Giles. Nice catch from Trey.
Well, like Mitchell got hit right after he released it. I think it's the first time I've seen him on the ground. Did he drop that? They're saying he dropped it. Huh.
Well, we were just talking about the even playing field, so that's looked like I didn't see the drop.
I didn't see that either, but that's
it's okay. 4th down and 12.
I think it's okay because it gives Miles a chance, and Miles hadn't had a lot of field goal opportunities.
Exactly. Especially Miles is a competitor. He saw the other guy hit a 40-yarder.
Mm-hmm. This is 41, we'll say.
And it's going to be up, and it's going to be good.
Plenty of leg.
Looks like out of the park. It's good. Coach, I love the cannon. I love it so much I jump every time I hear it.
Yeah, Cannon's got a workout tonight.
Now, you were at the school for a year maybe?
A cup of coffee.
Did the neighbors complain on the cannon, or is it just they just deal with it?
You know, I was not here during football season last year. I think they've gotten used to it. I think that kind of gives them an indication of how the game's going.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear it. All right, there's 7. There's 14.
Yeah.
There's 20. Would you please stop at 60?
Well, you know, I'm having a hard time with the clock because there's some bulbs out. I'm thinking it's 5 minutes still, I believe.
You know, I was going to put a camera on that clock tonight so we could keep the clock with our video, but I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Yeah, that's the thing is some of the older scoreboards, bulbs go out like crazy. I think this past spring we put like 45 in it. The newer scoreboards are LED systems, and you can even put LEDs into the older systems. The next time we meet with the athletic directors from the county schools, we've got a company that's going to come out and talk to them about refurbishing scoreboards and things that are affordable. Wow, that one's out completely out of the back of the end zone right there. It's a shame you can't get points for that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Miles likes to look at the rankings every week in the AJC.
Mm-hmm.
And he, you know, when he goes in there and sees and reads these other kickers doing stuff, he likes to show that he can do that as well. Speaking of scoreboards, Coach, there's a nice one over there on the baseball field.
Yeah, it helps when your program has a first-round draft pick.
Zach Wheeler went with the San Francisco Giants, now plays with the Mets in the Farm League. And when he left the school, he set a nice scoreboard over here.
Well, and that's a nice gesture because that is for those of you that are not clear, that those are not cheap.
No.
9-inning scoreboards are expensive, and that's a nice touch. I've seen other schools that have had similar picks like that, first-round picks, and have done nothing for their schools.
Well, my understanding is he always said that he would give back to the school if he did that, and he did. He gave back, and that scoreboard, from what I understand, showed up one day. I don't know. I guess he assumed he called and told him it was coming, but until you see it, it's like, okay, thanks.
It's definitely nice, and you know, and Coach Boyd's done a nice job with the program as well. We got our corner got hooked right there, and they were able to get outside just a little bit.
We got a late flag, Coach.
Yeah, it may have been a face mask.
Number 1 for East was in on that stop, by the way. That's Hines, and may have gotten a little more grip on the face mask or a horse collar.
Yeah, they call the face mask, and I know Mickey had a halftime update, but a lot of penalties. Penalties are adding up for East, and you can be nitpicky and split hairs. You're up 45-6, but you do want to clean up some of those things because against a team that is a quality team, you don't want to make these mistakes against Allatoona.
Especially the last couple of years here at East, it was all about disciplined football. It was all about you had a penalty on you, you paid for it dearly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying they don't do that now, but the team has been very disciplined for the last few years, and they know better than to do crazy penalties. But you know, sometimes you get carried away.
Well, you know, a face mask on an effort, now you can live with that. Sometimes you don't like it. The penalties that you can't live with are the unsportsmanlike,
right.
The celebration, the me penalties. If it's an effort penalty, you know, you can live with that. You can work with those.
Well, we got a loss on the play met by a whole bunch of Raiders on the front line, and it's going to be second down now and 11 for the Rome Wolves. Number 8, Bo Tucker, your quarterback. The school seems to love him. They got a few banners hanging up over there. He seems to be a pretty good quarterback, but it's not working out for him too good tonight on this East Paulding defense.
And I'm going to say that Bo don't know tonight.
Bo don't know tonight. That's correct. A little different.
Nice job right there by Luke Rudd. Met him in the gap right at the line of scrimmage. We got a 17-0 final, South Paulding over Hiram. So congratulations to the Spartans. Big win for Coach Gallant and his guys.
That was the only other Paulding County game at all tonight.
You had North and Paulding were off tonight.
Buys
and they will meet in the Battle of Paulding next week.
That's a big game, and I would like to in the next couple of years see Paulding County really get their program going. They got a real young team.
Nice play. Oh, I thought
he had that ball,
yeah,
Coach.
I thought he could have picked that. Again, Coach Hamilton, we mentioned it earlier tonight, he's doing a good job. It's hard to see on the scoreboard sometimes.
And he has a very young team.
You've got to understand, too, things don't get broken overnight and they don't get fixed overnight.
Right.
And he's doing it the right way. He's building it through his feeder program, and he's getting his kids bigger and faster and stronger, and they're staying out of trouble, and they're working hard, and it just takes some time.
Well, speaking of his feeder program, the 8th grade and 6th and 7th grade is doing well. And they just lined up with the New Hope Eagles.
They did.
They've changed their name to the New Hope Patriots, and they've got a lot to look forward to in the future. Look at this. We got number 2, Gilbert, sprinting and scrambling back in there.
Wow.
And he's got some room, and he's beating everybody, Coach.
Wow. He ran 75 yards to pick up 20. But you don't want to say individual effort, but yeah,
it was.
The wall was over here. He took it all the way back across the field to the Rome side, picked up about 20 yards.
Nice run by Gilbert. But that New Hope program over there has been around for years. Kyler Neal and Mitchell Webb played in it since they were 5 years old. That's how long and longer it's been there. But the names of that program are just now making it to the junior and senior levels in these high schools, when New Hope was year to year to year winning that 11 and 12-year-old Super Bowl.
Well, and you don't want to go into the reasons behind it, because there's some reasons why New Hope's affiliated with them now, but they were happy to become affiliated with North Paulding, and North Paulding was glad to have them. Paulding County was glad to have them.
Yep.
So it's a good fit for them. It's a good relationship, and I think it'll continue to prove fruitful for Paulding County.
I believe you're right. I know that North Paulding, speaking of their feeder programs, something about North Paulding and their community involvement is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of support.
The basketball program over there is amazing. I went over there and we covered a game one night. The 6th grade coach at the time was Greg Cherry, who is the high school athletic director coaching the 6th grade basketball team. The basketball team brought their 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-old kids on the floor with them when they did their little huddle and they did the anthem and they hugged each other. They made sure those kids felt at home.
Yeah.
So they've got a community involvement at North Paulding, which is amazing what's going on in that community up there with involvement.
Yeah, and we've always said anywhere I've ever been, anywhere I've ever coached or been a part of a program, you're only as good as your community allows you to be.
Right.
And if you have community support, then your kids have better opportunities and they have a better experience. Not saying that every winning program has great community support, but it makes a difference. It does help.
And that, speaking of the New Hope Ballpark, is where Miles Hemphill played his 5-year-old soccer. He's played at Braley Park over there since he was 5 on that soccer field. He still goes over there and rests a few games and coaches a few games and still plays soccer here for the high school. I understand he was looked at for the U.S. Olympic soccer team. The coach, they wanted him to quit school and move to California, and he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I think he had the opportunity to be in the development program, and Kyler Neal's gone. That was quick.
That was a quick 57-yard run.
That was a tall sweep to the left, and Kyler Neal, when he got the line of scrimmage, he put it in 5th gear real quick. He was gone. He kind of looked like he was shot out of the cannon.
Coach, I think he might be having the game of his season tonight.
Well, he's having a good one, but he had 200 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns last week.
Is that right? I missed that game. Last week we actually took the night off for our Friday Night Lights, but Kyler Neal's a beast, Coach.
Yeah, he's a good ball player.
He looks like, if you meet him, he looks like he would just as rather hit you than look at you. But one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet.
You talk to him and you find out different. He's a good kid.
He's a great kid, but he just looks like an athlete, like a football player.
Well, I tell you the thing, though. Let's talk a little bit about this East football team offensively. You kind of pick your poison. Do you want to focus on stopping Kamani? Okay, well, he hits more B gap and out. Well, that's fine. Then we're going to have Kyler who's going to hit traps and stuff inside. But if you'll look now, they've lined Kyler up in the slot. They've lined him up at tight end. They've thrown to him out of both those positions. He scored touchdowns on. Right there, they had him in the eye, the one back. They tossed sweep to him, and he had the speed to take it to the distance. So, you focus. What do you take away?
Yeah, what are you gonna?
Then you've got Mitchell Webb, who throws a very good ball. You've got Marcus Gilbert, who's a quality receiver. You just got to pick your poison, and at some point, they're going to score. They're going to bust some big ones.
Well, when you play East Paulding, the one thing you know for sure, the guys on the bench aren't going to score. So you know those guys aren't going to score, but you got 11 other guys on that field that will make sure that something happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent. The offensive line doesn't get credit, but when you're putting up 50 points, somebody's blocking for you.
And a lot of it is self-earned, not a lot. Some, more than others, is self-earned. They don't quit, I guess is what we're trying to say, Coach.
Yeah, no.
They don't quit. They don't take the one hit and stop.
Well,
they're getting off of it.
They run through contact. They play to the whistle. But, you've got to have holes opened up, and you got to have seams, and you then got to have the ability to do something with it.
Well, here goes Miles Hippill with another kick going into the end zone.
That may go through the uprights. Close.
You know what? These fans love him. They just love to see this.
Well, I don't know what kind of kicker's behind Miles, but I can tell you if you'll see a difference next year, and it makes a big difference when they're not returning because you don't have that opportunity for big plays on special teams.
It looks like number 4 is behind him, Coach, because when they're on the sidelines, as we're looking at now, I believe he kicks the ball like 90 times just on the sidelines.
You got to stay loose.
Yeah, he's always ready. Looks like it might be Josh. Josh is a good kid. I know Josh. There's so many good kids that play in these programs in Paulding County. 1st and 10 on the 20 for the Rome Wolves.
Belly.
There goes Griffin in motion, and he's buried by number 1, Hines, for the Raiders. Got about maybe 3 yards on that one, Coach.
Yeah, just ran belly up to the Rome sideline and didn't find a lot of operating room. Sounds like we got a kangaroo or something in the.
It's my phone. Phone bouncing around up in here, Coach. I don't know how much more time we're going to have. It's moving pretty quick right now, but I want to appreciate you coming in and playing with us tonight. It means a lot to have you and your knowledge come in and participate in what we try to bring to the schools.
Well, I appreciate you asking me, Randy. I enjoy. This is easy. Talking football's easy. Enjoy doing that. And
what are you not good at? I want you to come help me in that so I don't look so bad.
I got a lot of things I struggle with, I can promise you, but I can talk football.
Can you talk tennis?
I love the game. Well, I do know how to score it, I understand we go 15, 30, 40, but I've never quite figured out why.
So you got me on that one too, Coach.
Never figured out why we didn't go 45.
Well, you do a great job here in the county. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of things going good for the county. And a lot of being accredited towards you. You came into a good situation and making it better.
Well, there's just a lot of good people to work with in Paulding County. There's a lot of support. You've got good leadership within the system. Obviously, you got good leadership with the board, and it's a really good system to be in. When you have an opportunity to come into a situation like I did where replaced David Calvert, who did an excellent job in his time here. So it's just one of those things. We don't mess it up. We just try to keep getting better.
Well, I know that everybody around the county is really appreciative of what you're doing and the direction you're going. And I do want to ask you a question here after this punt. It's a low snap. The punt's going to be going back to we got a new return guy, number 84.
Just get away from it. And no, I'm not a dummy. When the chairman of the board is sitting close to me, I'm going to pat him on the back.
We try to surround ourselves by good people, Coach. All right, 84, DJ Wakefield is a sophomore back on that punt return.
Well,
Coach, let's talk a few minutes about the sport that might be sweeping through. It swept all through the next county over, Cobb County. I know North Paulding tried it this year, and my understanding from talking to the superintendent, the first year they signed up 230 players. Let's talk a minute about lacrosse.
Well, lacrosse will be being played for the first time at the high school level at North Paulding this year. They're going to start with a junior varsity program and grow from there with it. But it is a fast-growing sport. It is definitely a sport that has had a lot of interest at the north end of the county. And, as you said, Cobb, Gwinnett, Fulton, they're all playing it. The only issues you're going to run into is it's a springtime sport in Georgia. Right. And it's a facilities issue at times. And it's going to be North's going to have their work cut out for them, to be quite honest with you.
Are they testing it, or is it?
No, they're playing it as a junior varsity at the high school level
okay.
this year, and they'll start with the junior varsity schedule. But the thing is, you play it on the same field that you play your soccer. You've got boys and girls,
and your football.
JV and varsity. Well, it's a spring sport,
right? But the soccer and lacrosse at the same time.
Yes,
okay.
they're the same time. So, the facility's working out. You can work it out, but Mother Nature in the spring, you always have rainouts, you always have issues. So it's going to be, it's going to kind of be a trial run this year. But I think it's definitely here to stay, and will only continue to grow.
Are the other schools keeping an eye on it to see how successful it is, or is it something that they're just kind of not interested in at the moment?
Well, I think the interest was just greater at the north end. You had a feeder program that was already established.
We had an offsides with the defense coach. He jumped and then came back and didn't hear the whistle and jumped again. So I don't know if they got him on the first jump or the second jump.
I think you can only get penalized once there.
It's going to go 5 more yards for the Raiders, and it's going to be third down now, and probably that's going to put them right over the stick for the first down. We got a new quarterback in the game right now, Peyton Paris, number 18. Looks like you called it earlier, Coach. We're going to get some of these guys in there playing from the second string. I hate to call them second string, so we can call them backup or support, whatever we like, but these players are good in their own way for the Raiders.
Well, and this is valuable time right here, because if you'll look, Rome still got their starters out there.
Yep.
For the most part, so you need this experience. You need to get that playing time. You need to get evaluated on film.
Well, you never know what's going to happen, and it's good to have these guys ready to play. That handoff was number 26 for the Raiders, Keenan Pace. He's also a junior. The more experience they can get these juniors and sophomores sets them up for the next year or so.
Well, and let's look next week too, but look ahead a little bit. You got East Paulding's going to be at South Paulding. That's
going to be a talked about game. Right now it's 52-6. We haven't said the score in a while, and I know our listeners are like, well, what's the score? What's the score? 52-6, and we have movement. And it's going to go against the offense.
You're going to get a 5-yard penalty, get your money's worth right there. Go ahead and finish your block. And he did. If you're going to jump, get your money's worth.
If you're going to do it good.
Yeah, I mean, that's only 5 no matter what. So. Yeah, 52-6. And correct me if I'm wrong, did East punt the ball tonight? I don't remember a punt.
I don't think they have.
I think they scored every possession.
Yeah, no turnover on
Pretty
downs.
Impressive when you don't punt the football.
All right, Peyton Paris hands off to number 26. The junior spins and turns and gets down almost to the first down, but going to be about a yard short. Once again, number 26 is Keenan Pace. Peyton Paris gets his call from the sideline. Coach Goddard done an excellent job with this program. He came into a very, very, very successful program. And it's hard when you have to do that as a coach coming in and all these parents that's been successful over the years, and he's held his ground. He's done a great job with this ball club.
Well, the expectation was high because they had a lot of returning talent. They also lost a lot of talent. They've got a lot of kids off last year's team playing college football.
Yep.
But no, the expectation was high. The bar was set, and I think he's done. He's 7-0.
And he came from a county over, far, far, far into that county over. He knew the East Paulding Raiders, but he didn't really know their talent and what they had. And it took him a little bit to see what he had to work with as well. You see the highlights, you see Kamani and Mitchell on the news.
There's a anytime you have change, there's a feeling out process. There's communication issues, and here's a little quick trap. Looks like that's number 39 on the trap right there,
that's Nick
Boyce.
He's also a junior.
But, and if you think back on the North Paulding game, yes, North Paulding's improved, but also that was the first game in a big environment for this coaching staff and these kids working together and making those halftime adjustments. And it takes time. Any time that you have a change in coaching staff, not really a big change in philosophies because they're very similar schemes, but I think they are doing a little bit more. They're a little bit more versed offensively, a little bit more versatile.
All right, Peyton Paris handing off to number 39 once again for the Raiders. Nixon. That's Boyce.
Boyce. And it's going to bring up is it third? Third and 8.
Third and 8, long 7.
Clock's continuing to run.
These Raider fans are trying to beat the traffic, but they might want to hang around and watch it get up to maybe one more.
Well, you got the bands going now after the game. So hopefully people stick around and watch both bands.
I know the Raider band the Raider Brigades are pretty sharp, man. I watched them, and they got it going on this year. They got their own little portable PA.
They have a real nice halftime show. End of the game show tonight.
Number 47 now for the Raiders, Enoch Pyle. He's also a sophomore, and he got bent over. But he
didn't look like a good position he finished in there.
No, it's going to be 4th down and 5 for the Raiders, and this will be their first punt.
Jinxed them, didn't they?
Well, no, not really. It might be a fake. Let's wait till the play's over.
But you do see who's on the field, don't you? It's your first team. It's your first team punt. The team.
Yeah.
You don't take a chance like that. You go ahead and put your starters back out there.
And here's the first punt for the night for the Raiders.
Nice kick.
Beautiful kick.
A little lot of action.
And look who's there to.
He keeps it out.
He
Nice
kicks it out.
job.
Come on. Oh, that's Tay Ray.
Tay Ray. Good hustle down the field.
And kept on the 3-yard line by Aaron Black.
Well, and you got to give your punter Esteban Ayala some props right there because he downed the ball or he's able to land it right on about the 5-yard line. And you had Tay Ray, whose great hustle down the field, was able to down it on about the 2.
We got 1 minute 36 seconds left in the ball game. 52-6. East Paulding Raiders over your Rome Wolves. We've had a good night here tonight, Coach. We've had Fox 5 here in your face. We have the Rome radio crew here for Q102 out of Rome and also their AM station. And all of our listeners here, if you want to catch some good scores, you can check out of Rome South 107 after this game.
Yeah, they do a good job.
They do a great job on their scoreboard show. Really.
And you got to realize Rome's going to be a playoff team.
Yes.
And you wish them the best the rest of the year. Obviously, they've got a lot of things they've got to work on and improve upon. But they kind of ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw tonight. Definitely had a East Paulding team that was fired up. They kind of felt like they had something to prove after last week. They won big at Hiram, but nevertheless, they still gave up 30 points.
Well, it's been a fun ball game if you're East Paulding. You had a little bit of concern coming in after last week, letting Hiram get up on you 36 points, and I think that's the most points East Paulding has given up all year in one game.
Well, it's only the second game that they've been scored on. They gave up 17 to North, and nobody else has scored.
And then when you get that, you give up 36 out of nowhere. Yes, a concern, but these fans came back here tonight to see if anything was going to come out of that, and they're leaving here fairly happy, Coach.
Yeah, except for a couple of possessions in the second quarter where they were able to have some success running buck sweep. Really didn't see Rome do much. Like I said, with the exception of a couple of drives where they did picked up some pretty good yardage. Not a lot of success offensively for Rome, and had 127 yards at halftime. I know Mickey's working on it. I would say they probably didn't pick up more than about 20 yards, 25 yards rushing second half. So you have to be happy with the adjustments. You have to be happy with the effort of your defense. Anytime you only give up 6 points against who's going to be a playoff team, they're going to be in the playoffs.
They will be.
They're going to probably be the number 3 seed.
And they will make adjustments.
Although North Paulding still has an outside shot at that number 3. They need help. Obviously, Rome's, they've got that essentially a 2-game advantage. Rome does on them because of the head-to-head. But, stranger things have happened.
Well, anything can happen in football. It all depends on who shows up that night when the buzzer goes. And It's an exciting game once again, Coach. I appreciate you coming and doing this with us. Mickey Skelton, appreciate you. Matt Shutley and his big man over here, 55 Shutley. Appreciate you guys coming in and helping us out and being a part of what we're doing tonight. Looks like we're going to have a midfield prayer, Coach, which is always good to see at the games. Good, nice to see these teams come together when it's all over and say a prayer and do a prayer and just praise everything for coming out the way that it did.
Well, you do, and you like to see the character both teams show with a handshake at the end of the game, meeting in the middle of the field to pray. Everybody's abilities are God-given, so we definitely like to see that.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the teams come together when it's all over and done with. What just happened will stay right there, midfield, and these guys will go on their separate ways, no hard feelings, and nothing will come out of this because it's a good thing they're doing right now. We got some final stats, Mickey? Well, let's do it, man. Let me give Mickey my headphones, and we'll go over some final stats for the game tonight.
As we get this headset set on, thank you, Randy. Have to adjust here. Your head's either smaller or something. Just that, yeah, thumping the score here. All right, the final score 52-6. East Paulding over Rome. Totals for East Paulding. We had
Appreciate it.
let's see, 20. Well, now I got to get my numbers back straight. 23 runs for 165 yards, 5 out of 6 passes completed for, 176 yards. Oh, they had penalties, accumulated 6 for 65 yards against them. Rome finished off with on passes was, 3 for 8 with 24 yards. They had 25 runs for 37 runs for 152 yards, and they ended up with penalties of 50 yards against them.
So you got some good adjustments made by the East Paulding staff and players, and essentially you shut down Rome. They did nothing second half. Nothing at all.
That's and actually when you look back over at the first, they had second quarter they did. It's when they had their first downs. The first quarter they had some runs and a couple penalties, and that was.
Well, finished the first half 127 yards rushing and finished the game with 152. So I'd say that's pretty good job of making adjustments. And you basically, they had one play, they had buck sweep that they were having success with. You took it away, and you see the result on the scoreboard.
That it was. I'll turn it back over to Randy for some final announcements.
All right, thank you there, Mickey. We want to remind everybody to keep informed and check out the other sports going on in the county. A lot of good things going on. South Paulding, softball, North Paulding, volleyball. Got a lot of things going on. And anytime you get a chance, go support your local high school sports. So we appreciate you hanging out there. Tune in to Paulding.tv a little later. You can actually watch this broadcast back, and it'll be on for a while, so you can kind of see it on demand. Thanks to Coach Don Breedlove, Mickey Skelton, Matt Shutley, and the 278 the Mix crew. We appreciate you guys joining in, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Randy.